It's Friday night, and you know what that means. It's Mountain Mitsubishi, Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. It's Reed Duthie alongside my broadcast partner Neil Sriwastawa with Troy Islikar down at field level. And Neil, we've got the Cardinals and the Maple Leafs head-to-head presented by Mountain Mitsubishi.
Cardinals on a little bit of a roll after last night's 11-1 victory over the Barrie Baycats. Maple Leafs stumbling a little bit out of the gate. They're 2-6 on the season now. So things have got to turn around for these Maple Leafs eventually, but if you're a Cardinals fan, you're definitely hoping it's not tonight.
And for the Cardinals tonight, well, you might as well call him Mr. Friday Night just at the moment. Brett Lawson takes the hill once again. Neil, he was spectacular last week, and the longtime IBL veteran with a fistful of championship rings brings a whole lot of veteran stability on the hill. And, oh, yeah, he can still make every offering dance to the opposing batters.
And you just look at him out there on the mound waiting for the managers to make way here so he can start with his warm-up pitches here. But, yes, he made the quick text message to me at 11:30 Friday night last night asking for the video of last night's of the Friday night game because he wanted to work on a couple of things. He's 47 years old. He still wants to work on things.
What else did he need to work on? He was brilliant in that outing. Now, as we take a look down at field level, the Toronto Maple Leafs were a little bit late arriving due to what has been a brutal start to the summer season in terms of traffic.
Yep.
And it is a makeshift lineup, Neil, for the Maple Leafs. The first three batters, there is still a ton of danger at the top of that order.
There is. But
afterwards, they had to mix and match.
I think it was just like, okay, who's available? Who can catch? Who can do this? Can you play left field? And that's not a slight on the Leafs. It's just unfortunately traffic. Plus, Justin Mara is getting married tomorrow. Congratulations to Dustin and his bride.
Hey.
Hope it's a great day. So that means the Mara trio is not here tonight. So that's three guys out of the lineup as well.
Yeah, three pretty important pieces of the lineup that are not available for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight, but that's a pretty good reason.
It's a very good reason.
Yeah. And I don't think you can get away with a lot of things, but night before the wedding, hey, I'm going to go play baseball.
Yeah, that's not going to fly anywhere.
No, that's not going to work.
No,
that is not going to work.
And plus, there's been some virus going through the Maple Leafs clubhouse, too. I know Jonathan Salazzo wasn't feeling well Wednesday night, as reported by Thomas West and the broadcast team down in Toronto. So it's just been, they're battling through.
It's been a tough start to the season for the Maple Leafs, Neil, as you mentioned. But one thing we know about this crew, Vinicio, Castaldo, and Salazzo are going to lead off. When they get the Mara brothers all into this lineup and everybody's healthy, this season is going to turn at some point for Toronto. If you're the Cardinals, you're just hoping it's not tonight.
Well, exactly. You're just hoping it's not your night. It's not tonight where they suddenly break the bats out and put up 12 runs in a couple innings here.
It might be a heavy lift for the Leafs to pull that off tonight, as Brett Lawson taking his warm-ups and the Leafs being given a few extra minutes here. As at one point, Neil, we were looking at them taking batting practice and wondering if they were even going to have close to a
exactly.
roster.
I think we only saw a half dozen guys out there taking batting practice, a couple pitchers shaking balls in the outfield, but that was about it.
And then suddenly a whole bunch of guys pulled up, and we are going to have our opening batter, Jose Vinicio, is going to make his way to the plate as we get set to open up Mountain Mitsubishi Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14. Hey, Vinicio having a little bit of fun with Luis Bernardo on his walk up.
Oh, exactly. Vinicio struggling a little bit at the plate, only batting .133 so far on the season through 30 at-bats. Just 4 hits, 1 home run, surprisingly, for Vinicio.
Not usually his game.
No, not usually, but one got out of Dominico Field for him.
It's not an easy place to do it either. Well, I guess depending on which way you're striking.
Yep.
As Vinicio will step in to face Brett Lawson for the first time tonight. After Jose Vinicio's at bat, we'll give you a look at the defense in behind Lawson. As Lawson's going to wind and deliver to open the ball game, and it's low for ball 1. And normally, Neil, we like to run through the batting order for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but we were so late getting the lineup card. That's going to be delayed tonight.
That's going to be slightly delayed tonight. They're working on the graphics. We're working on everything up here. I think I got it scribbled in here finally, so it was like, okay, we're ready to go.
We're going to figure it out one way or another. We got producer Travis Blackwell downstairs, and he is going to put out any fires that come up. We know that about Travis.
Yep.
I've worked with him for a long time. Trust me, we've seen some fires together, and he's been able to guide us through, so we'll survive. Just a little bit of a scramble off the start, which everyone's in the same boat at least.
Yep.
As Lawson winds and delivers, strike 2 to Vinicio. Neil, a week ago today, we saw Brett Lawson bring a little bit of everything. His off-speed was working, dancing. He had the fastball dialed in. He was working inside. He was working outside edge. He could do no wrong a week ago. And that one's going to bring the count full at 3-2 as Vinicio laid off. Infield was in for the Cardinals momentarily as Vinicio strikes that one, but it's going to carry well foul into the bullpen, and one of the Toronto pitchers down there nearly ate that one.
I don't think he was expecting to see that coming back up his backside there.
Well, and he's right in the path of the sun, too, so
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
he lost it on the way in. Just don't hurt me. We'll do the 3-2 over again. Lawson delivers. Vinicio on the ground to second base. Cut down by Marriott to first to Rempel, and it's one away.
Zach Marriott, who shifts over to second base tonight with the 4-3 putout, and there's one away for Jordan Castaldo.
And we'll take a look at that defensive alignment in behind Brett Lawson in the outfield. He's got Brandon Nicholson middle with Brandon Daly and Dennis DeBannon going left and then right. You'll see them come up on your screen. Into the infield, Rempel at first, Marriott at second. Josh Niles returns to play third base. That's a big re-addition. And Tyler Duncan at short. And the battery formed by the aforementioned Lawson and the veteran Luis Bernardo. And Bernardo and Lawson, Neil, have it dialed in together as it's a first pitch strike.
They definitely do. His battery mate has been calling great games for Lawson so far this season.
And how about the re-addition of Josh Niles standing over at third base, another huge bat into this lineup. And speaking of huge bats, Castaldo's going to swing this into the gap in center, and that one will drop just before Nicholson could slide over to it.
Brandon Nicholson gave it the valiant effort, unfortunately just ran out of real estate to cut the distance in half. That one drops in for a single, and the Maple Leafs have got a man aboard here with one away for the conductor, Jonathan Salazzo.
This is not a man you want anyone on base for.
Nope, he hit his second home run of the season Wednesday night, much to the pleasure of the Dominico Field crowd.
I mean, everything about Jonathan Salazzo is just downright scary from the way he just stands over the plate. And he's got a little bit of that bat rotation in behind him like the caged lion. He's just waiting for something over the middle of the plate that he can take for a ride.
Exactly. A couple of moonshots here, that's for sure.
Oh, we've seen it. And Lawson challenging him down the pipe. 1-1.
Of course, the sun's got to be a factor in the batter's eyes right now, too, because where it sets in this field.
Not quite as bad as if you're at Arnold Anderson up in Brantford, but still, for batters in this ballpark, not exactly the easiest when we open up on Friday nights.
And that one's taking for a strike at the knees. Salazzo thought about going around on it, but held back. Count now 1-2.
After Salazzo, you start to get into some of the juniors that have been brought into the lineup. As Lawson delivers, doesn't get the outside edge. He wanted it.
That might be one of those pitches as the night progresses, the umpires might give a little more flexibility on, and that might get called later in the game. Just got to keep that one in your back pocket.
He felt like it was where he wanted it. As Lawson winds and delivers, and that one too far outside. 3-2 the count to Salazzo. Last night, the Cardinals battered the Barrie Baycats by an 11-1 score. Neil, all of a sudden, they got to Frank Garces.
They definitely did. It was like that sixth inning, just unfortunately, that never ended for the Baycats. The Cardinals put up a lot of runs that inning.
Now, 6 errors as Salazzo is going to take the free pass. 6 errors for the Baycats played a big part in it, but felt like everybody for the Cardinals got in on the action last night.
This will bring up Lachlan Ahmad here. I apologize if you said your name wrong, Lachlan. One of the aforementioned junior call-ups tonight.
Yeah,
Welcome to the IBL. By the way, you're batting fourth tonight.
Yeah, you're going behind Vinicio, Castaldo, and Salazzo. Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah, there you go.
What a welcome. And he'll take a look at a first pitch strike. This has got to be intimidating if you're Lachlan Ahmad.
Well, exactly. It's like, okay, so how was your debut? You know, I faced one of the oldest guys in the league, and he's a towering giant.
And a 5-time champion.
Yeah.
And I had 2 guys on base, 2 of the most dangerous hitters in all of the IBL.
And I'm pretty sure I don't know what the signs are from the third base coach. So everything's going fantastic tonight.
Probably just riding high right now.
Yep.
Obviously somebody the Maple Leafs have some belief in to hit in this 4 spot, although got him swinging right there. Did Lawson 1 and 2. Well, when Lawson reaches back, he can still hammer into Bernardo's glove. Lawson checks back and delivers, and that one's going to come in low. 2-2 the count.
Well, Donovan is followed by Ryan DeSantos, and then Julian Johnson, the former Maple Leaf, now back with his second tour of duty with the boys in blue.
Lawson again has a peek over his shoulder, goes off speed. Oh, did he pull the string on that? First strikeout of the night for Brett Lawson, and it's 2 away for Ryan Dos Santos.
Stepping up to the plate, the right fielder, number 8, Ryan Dos Santos.
Dos Santos homered in Sunday's contest.
I believe for the youngster, that was a bit of a lesson from the wily vet.
Yeah, that was a welcome to the league. And by the way, we throw it like that here in this league.
Yeah, watch me just pull this one back. As Lawson delivers in 1-0 to Dos Santos.
Dos Santos batting .321 on the season. 9 hits so far, 3 doubles, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, 5 walks, but does leave the team in strikeouts with 12.
Lawson delivers, and that one's going to run inside and low, ball 2.
And that was the one thing that stood out to me when I was looking at the stats this morning for the Maple Leafs. 8 games, 82 strikeouts as a team so far. So that's just over 10 a game.
I don't see any way that lasts.
No.
As Lawson delivers outside, ball 3. Now, if you remember back to the first inning against Barrie last Friday night, Lawson did have to get out of a bases-loaded jam and did successfully.
Let's not put that cart before that horse yet.
Fair enough. As he faces a 3-0 here to Dos Santos. And Dos Santos makes him throw a strike, and Brett Lawson says challenge accepted. Lawson will look in 3-1, trying to battle his way back in this count. Delivers Dos Santos on the ground, hopped through the glove of Marriott. Castaldo's going to get waved around from third. One will score. Dos Santos on his way to second is going to be nailed on the way through. And that will get the Cardinals out of the inning. So a little bit of bad luck, Neil, as the ball hopped through the webbing on Marriott as he tried to snare that one down, but Brett Lawson gets out of it anyway.
Yep, great turn by the defense to pick that one up there and get the out when they needed. Do a little bit of damage control, only allowing the Maple Leafs to score the 1 run here.
We will be right back with more Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball presented by Mountain Mitsubishi on Cable 14.
Now let's check in with our good friend Emily.
Hey fans, don't forget your Hamilton Cardinals game time. It's your
Welcome back to Mountain Mitsubishi, Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14. Cards give up just the one run in the opening inning. Jordan Castaldo got waved home before Ryan Dos Santos got caught getting a little greedy on his way to second base. And that'll put the bats in the hands of the Cardinals for the first time tonight, Neil, and they will face off with pitcher Dean Christidis.
Christidis will be the man on the mound for the Maple Leafs. 4.1 innings pitched so far. An 8.30 ERA. He's allowed 4 runs. They're all earned. 7 hits. He does have 3 strikeouts, so the ball's in the capable hands of the youngster.
And he is going to face a very deep Cardinals batting order that just got a lot deeper with the return of Josh Niles.
Definitely did here, that's for sure. Nicholson's going to lead off. Zach Marriott's batting second. Tyler Duncan, 5 RBIs on the night, his first home run last night in Barrie. Luis Bernardo batting fourth. Dennis DeBanning is fifth. Josh Niles, as you mentioned, is batting sixth. Tanner Rimple at first base batting seventh. Keeler Loveridge batting eighth. And Brandon Daly, the left fielder tonight, is batting ninth.
Brandon Daly, bit of a Swiss Army knife. He'll play all over the field. We'll take a look at the Leafs' defensive alignment following Nicholson's at bat. As Christidis delivers, and he'll open up with a strike. Nicholson stealing bases at a pretty good clip so far. Neil, he's looking to get the batting average numbers a little bit higher.
I think he will, definitely. That is what he's definitely working on now. He is finding ways on base, so just unfortunately, a lot of times, even including last night, I think he reached on error twice.
So unfortunately for Brandon, those do not help him in that particular category.
179 on this season so far, but he's definitely been on base a lot.
Nicholson on the ground to third. That's in and out of the glove of Salazzo, and Nicholson's on at first. Throw gets away from Julian Johnson. It was in the dirt, and Nicholson's already up to second with the hot Zach Marriott coming up behind him as we take a look at the Toronto defensive alignment in behind pitcher Dean Christidis in the outfield. Connor Lewis is your center fielder. He'll have Jamie Cabral to the left, Ryan Dos Santos to the right. And in the infield, you see Julian Johnson will be working with Charlie Towers at second base. Third base is Jonathan Salazzo. Jose Vinicio at short. And doing the catching tonight is Lachlan Maud. And the Cardinals team leader in RBIs, Zach Marriott, is up to bat.
Nicholson way off.
And Nicholson putting on some dance moves in behind Christidis, and
umpires coming up because this is not going to count as a mound visit. This is officially called a cross-up, so no mound visit is charged in this situation. That's why the plate umpire goes out with the catcher.
Yep, that's fair. It looked like they weren't quite on the same page.
No. Or maybe you couldn't see them because of where he puts them down.
Christidis delivers, and that one runs inside on Marriott. So the leader in batting average on the season for the Cardinals, not available tonight, Danny Berg.
Yep.
At least not starting for the Cardinals tonight.
It might be a night off just because they got 3 games in a row, 4 games in a row here on the weekend. So
yeah, what a schedule this weekend. Goodness. As Christidis delivers low, and it's 3-0 to Marriott.
You don't want to risk injury. We want to give guys, a night off here and there too, just to kind of thing to go through. Tyler Duncan sat out last Sunday in London, which I kind of was scratching my head a little bit at that. But again, it was just like, okay, I guess it was just his turn to set out one.
Christidis delivers, and that one runs outside. He'll lose Marriott. And the Cardinals suddenly 2 on, nobody out, and Rocky Mountain Thunder, the reigning MVP, will make his way in.
Duncan hit everything last night really hard. A couple of singles in the ground, even the ground ball out he headed over to the second baseman last night, but cashed in a run was really hard. So you can see he's definitely got his stroke back to where he wants it, and now it's just a matter of time to watch the numbers climb. As I say that, he's batting .391 in the season.
Christidis delivers. Duncan hard on the ground. It'll be over to second for one. Duncan trying to beat it out back to first. He will. The throw is away, and Nicholson is going to come across to score.
So Duncan reaches on the fielder's choice E6. Will likely put him at second base. Yes, and that's where he's going now. So the ball went into the Leafs dugout. And we got a tie ball game.
The catcher, number 14, Luis.
Merritt is retired on the 3-6 putout for the first out of the inning. And Nicholson, like you mentioned, comes home to score. And we got a one-way ball game.
For a play that seems somewhat obvious, there's a lot of things that go into that. As Nicholson, who was on the run, and you could see he was just itching to get around. Now Luis Bernardo up with Tyler Duncan on second and one away.
And Vinicio, again, they're just battling the sun. They're battling the elements. They hear the footsteps coming at them at the base, so they're trying to get out of the way and make the throw across, too.
Bernardo on the ground is short. Duncan is going to be retired over at third, so the fielder's choice will go 6-5, and it's 2 away with Bernardo over at first. Smart move there by Vinicio, choosing the play at third to take down the lead runner.
Take out the lead runner, take out the faster of the two runners as well. Now you got Bernardo standing at first, less likely to steal second base, but you know, Luis might just fool us here. As Dennis Demani comes to the plate now.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time someone's fooled us. As Christidis checking back on Bernardo. Well, I don't think you're going to get him doing that.
No. That's not the A move. That's just a, hey, I got to throw over just so it looks like I'm actually know what I'm doing out here.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to catch Luis Bernardo taking too big of a lead.
Not usually in this situation, no.
And DeBanning is going to hit this one high and deep into left center field. Bernardo's on his horse. Is he going to get waved around? No, stop sign put on for Bernardo. DeBanning into second with the double. And just like that, Dennis DeBanning, who has had a great start to this season, is all over the baseball. And it's 2 runners in scoring position for the returning Josh Niles.
Dennis DeBanning with his 10th hit of the season now and his 5th double so far in the campaign.
We saw Dennis DeBanning really look to put everything together last season, Neil, and he has come out this year taking that to another level. Ball is delivered on the outside, and that's going to be 1-0 to Niles. Niles, Neal, who had a really brilliant college career.
He did. Made the academic all-star team in his final year at Canisius College.
Literally brilliant.
Yep. I'm sure that made his mom and dad real proud, too.
And we know what he can do. Last season, he fought a couple injury issues. 2 seasons ago, he had incredible numbers in the IBL. And that ball off the plate, 2-1. If he can remain healthy, it is a huge boost to this Cardinals lineup.
Well, just gives manager Chris Piano just more options even. Give some guys some breaks, give some rest, give some different pitchers, a couple different batters to look at.
Niles, whoa. And you can see how he can absolutely tear the cover off of a ball, sending that one foul.
I just always wonder when these guys come back from college after swinging the aluminum bat for the last 4 months, if it's just a little bit of an adjustment period again to say, okay, well, this thing doesn't have the kind of give like those aluminum bats do. Not to mention that awful sound.
Yeah, it is a bad sound. Niles steps into that one, but he might have reached for it a little too far, falling quickly. Oh, it's going to land in fair territory. Both Bernardo and DeBanning are going to come across. Niles will skip his way to second.
That's a single in no man's land. Give him 2 RBIs.
Bit of a cross-up, and welcome back to the IBL, Josh Niles. As Neil said, 2 RBIs, and that was a little bit of a confusing one.
Again, I think that was kind of a positioning thing, plus battling the sun and going backpedaling out in the outfield, the second baseman and Julian Johnson, the first baseman, just trying to get to the ball, and the right fielder playing so far back that it just dropped in. Niles advances to second on the throw home. That was more like a shot put home than anything else.
I was a little bit confused as to almost thinking that they were looking back to first.
Yep.
But there was nobody there. The first baseman had come out into the pile-up in shallow right. Ball delivered, and Rempel will sky it. And a chance here to make up for the last round, and Julian Johnson will have that one down. We're through one full inning of play. The Cardinals a 3-1 lead over the Toronto Maple Leafs, and we will send things downstairs to our Troy Islikar, who will catch up with Cardinals manager Chris Piano.
Emily, what do you got going on down the field there?
Oh, we will get back to that when we return on Mountain Mitsubishi Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. It's Mountain Mitsubishi Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. The Cardinals collect 3 in a bit of a wacky bottom of the first inning. Neil, a couple of strange occurrences, especially the play by Josh Niles that brought around both Luis Bernardo and Dennis DeBanning that just sort of fell into shallow right.
Well, exactly. It's just you're battling the elements out here. You're battling the sun, and you're just trying to get a beat on the baseball right now. And unfortunately, everything is not going in favor of the Maple Leafs at this very given time.
Julian Johnson looking to shake it all off for the Maple Leafs and started out here in the top of 2 as they come back to bat against Brett Lawson. And that ball on the ground, but it will, I believe, have been chopped back off of the leg of Johnson.
He's walking that one off right now.
Yeah. There's some pain management happening.
Yep.
Stanley Cup playoff season, it's like blocking a shot. You just generally don't block your own.
Yeah. Well, those guys don't those guys usually still wear telephone books around their ankles anymore? What are they wearing now? The Kevlar reinforced whatevers?
Boy, they are heavy duty now, and guys are regularly bringing it over 90.
Yeah.
It's like a suit of armor at this point.
Yeah, you don't want to step in front of that thing.
No, not at all. As Lawson delivers. Unfortunately for me, it was one of the things I was actually good at, was blocking shots. Well, I thought I was good until I got to know Jay McKee, coach of the Bulldogs, who is essentially the master of the art of shot blocking, and realized I don't know anything. As Lawson delivers, and that one will run low, 2-2.
Bernardo nodding his head out there again, encouraging Lawson. Hey, keep that one in your back pocket here. You might get that call a little later on.
That's where Luis Bernardo as the catcher is so valuable for this club. There is not much in the baseball world he hasn't seen or done. Now, Brett Lawson, obviously a longtime star in the IBL, so he may be, he'll certainly enjoy working with Luis Bernardo, but for some of the young pitchers that we may see later tonight coming out of the bullpen, it's invaluable.
Definitely will be.
As that one just off the plate, 3-2 the count.
Johnson followed by Connor Lewis, and then former Cardinal Charlie Towers due up in the inning.
As Lawson delivers, and Johnson did not go around, so he'll take the walk down to first base. So Connor Lewis, as Neil mentioned, will step in.
Stepping up to the plate tonight's beer batter, the center fielder, number 4, Connor Lewis.
Connor Lewis playing center field for the Maple Leafs.
Lewis haven't got the bats quite going just yet. Got 1 hit on the season. And .071 batting average so far. He shows bunt on that first pitch and takes strike 1.
Maple Leafs maybe trying to manufacture one deeper into their lineup here.
Yeah, you look at this veteran team and a lot of strikeouts from the vets too. Like Carrington's got 9, Towers has got 7, Lewis has got 6 strikeouts.
High chop. Niles going to bring it down, but I believe it was ruled foul. Oh, how in the world did Tanner Rempel keep that in his glove at first base?
I don't think he saw it till it was right in front of him.
This play is not going to matter. It's as if it never happened as the play was ruled foul. But Tanner Rempel with a miraculous catch over at first as Josh Niles delivered a rocket.
Niles caught this in foul territory and then threw across because umpire didn't make a signal. Yeah, he didn't see it till the very last second. It's like, oh my goodness, it's in my glove. What the heck? Look what I found. Thank God it didn't find me.
That was an immediate defensive posture
Yep.
from Tanner Rempel. Like, oh no.
There'll be words had between Niles and Rempel between innings, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're going to have to get Troy down to talk to Rempel at some point and find out his thought process there. As Lawson, oh, beautiful break. Gets Lewis swinging, and that's a strikeout. Lawson's second of the game.
It is Lagershed happy hour till the end of this inning. And that is another Little Caesars strikeout.
Got to bring up Charlie Towers now, the former Cardinal.
Little Caesars will donate $3.
The Toronto native back at home with the Maple Leafs, the team he grew up watching on a Sunday afternoons. He's batting .125 on the season. He's got 2 hits, got 1 RBI, 5 walks so far.
Towers knows how to extend a count.
Now at the plate, the second baseman, number 2, Charlie Towers.
So you likely heard the PA in-house. The beer batter for the inning, or for the game, is Connor Lewis. So the strikeout earns a Lagershed happy hour downstairs, plus a donation from Little Caesars.
That it does. So,
That's a great strikeout.
Connor Lewis is definitely a fan favorite tonight.
He's making everybody happy.
Yep. And a great job by Little Caesars to donate $3 every strikeout the Cardinals pitchers do get on the year. Commission services here to help strike out hunger.
As this ball ripped into foul territory by Towers, it reminds me of the longtime program in the CFL, the Tackle Hunger campaign. Yep. For every sack, the donations that are made, the quarterback's weight in food. That's a great idea.
Jeez. Put those quarterbacks on a little bit of a weight gain, 3,000, please.
Well, there was a couple of seasons when the Ticats had the likes of Joe Monfort and Tim Cheatwood up front.
Yep.
Where they were single-handedly feeding a whole lot of people. I mean, those guys blew through double digits in sacks apiece. As Lawson has the long look in. That'll run inside off the plate. Full count to Towers.
Towers, I'm sure, has taken batting practice against Lawson or seen enough of him to know what he's got in the wheelhouse. So, wonder who's got the advantage here, though.
Well, we might be about to find out at least a little piece of that as Towers puts it on the ground. Oh, Duncan had it hop out. Did he get the tag? No.
Lawson almost barehanded that.
Yeah, Lawson looked like he was going to go for the bare hand, and then Duncan went to scoop it. It just exploded out of his glove. And he attempted to tag Johnson on his way to second.
Yeah, he almost got the hand on it, and it just took a weird hop off Duncan when he went up and get it. And I guess it was just...
That wasn't an... Okay.
Yep.
As the ball will bounce into Luis Bernardo. Jamie Cabral who comes in.
Lawson's at 41 pitches now.
And gets that one on the outside corner for strike 1. Yeah, looking at the replay, I thought, Neil, that Duncan had ball in his glove when he made the tag on Johnson.
Yep.
And a throwback to first from Luis Bernardo, and that almost caught Charlie Towers taking a step. Luis Bernardo is not scared to challenge you.
Definitely is not. Cabral so far on the season is 0 for 3. But does have 2 runs scored and has walked twice. And 2 stolen bases, so he does have some decent speed when he gets on base.
As Lawson has the look, he'll wind and deliver. That one shot right back up the middle again. Not able to get the dive onto it, and it's going to be a bases-loaded spot for Jose Vinicio. Again, Zach Marriott tried to lay out, and it's back-to-back balls right up the middle of the field.
Stepping up to the plate, the shortstop, number
And
1,
now Brett Lawson's got to deal with a little bit of trouble.
Not the part of the order if you want to come up here with bases loaded, that's for sure. Vinicio followed by Castaldo and Salazzo waiting in the hole.
Yeah, certainly not the spot you want to be in right now. Some speed on the base paths as well, as Lawson on the off-speed didn't get the call there. As Vinicio went down 4-3 in the first inning. That time he'll get the count, off-speed to the outside edge. It is a 2-run lead to work with for Lawson, but obviously would like to get out of this as clean as possible. Running inside, Luis Bernardo backhands that down.
Great stop by Bernardo to keep that one in front of him and prevent the run from coming home. As we said many times, once it hits this backstop here, you're not sure which direction it's going. You can potentially bring home 2 if it hits it right.
Yeah, and with the right guys on base as well, it can be a real problem as Lawson delivers, and again, on that outside edge.
Vinicio did not like that call, was trying to plead his case to the plate umpire.
Well, Lawson will look in once more, 1-2 the count. He'll wind and deliver, and Vinicio sends that one foul. That just kept on bending away. As Jose Vinicio will lean in again. Lawson delivers, gets Vinicio swinging through it. It's 2 away.
Third strikeout of the night for Brett Lawson. And another $3 donated to Mission Services.
So Lawson seeing the pitch count up a bit, but he's navigating his way through it with Jordan Castaldo stepping in.
Definitely not out of the woods yet, as he's got Castaldo to deal with now with 2 away. Because now the infield can play a little further back and take the base at their closest discretion here. That one misses high to Castaldo for ball 1.
And this is quite the matchup here. Lawson delivers. He's got that outside edge, and that one on the off speed. Pretty pitch. Lawson again. Delivers. Castaldo sends it high and deep into center field. Nicholson tracking back over his shoulder. Oh, he made the catch! Brandon Nicholson crashing into the center field wall, brings the ball down, and the Cardinals are out of the top of the inning. Neil, that was brilliance from the Card center field.
Straight into the Mitsubishi Motors sign in center field.
Look at the ground Nicholson covers. Oh!
He just wanted to give the sponsors a little more plug time.
Outstanding. from Brandon Nicholson. He'll put the bats back into the hands of the Cardinals. You're watching Mountain Mitsubishi, Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. It's Mountain Mitsubishi Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14. Earlier on, our Troy Islikar caught up with Cardinals manager Chris Piano.
But I thought I'd wait till you were about 6 games into the season. Welcome to Hamilton. Welcome to the team here as the field boss. First of all, let's get into a little bit of your history with this team and some of the things you've done overseas.
Yeah, I've been a part of the Hamilton organization for a long time. Larry Wood, the assistant GM, he's been my coach back in the day when I was 14, 15 years old. So I've developed right from the start here, and it's something that I love to come to the ballpark every weekend, every day, and just be a part of it with the guys. And I'm unfortunately not able to play anymore, so this is the second best thing in my mind. So yeah, it's been really good. Overseas, I had the pleasure to do that in Australia and in Europe for a couple seasons, and what a blast, to be able to do something you love and you train for as a kid and as a teenager. It was it was a joy and something I would redo over in a second.
And you brought yourself here to Hamilton in a great position here. This team coming into it after 6 games, they're 4-2. What do you like that you've seen so far?
And pitching is a huge thing. Like, we got a ton of pitchers, ton of quality arms. They're attacking batters. They're really, putting the batters off balance. Our aggressive style on the base paths has really helped. Getting the bat on the ball is so crucial in this league. Making the defense, make the play. I said to the guys, you got to make them make the play on you, right? Too many strikeouts kill any momentum, especially early on in the year. You want to get into a rhythm, and it seems to be working right now.
I spoke to George Helene before, and he said that this year, character's huge for this team going forward. What have you seen that you've really liked as a team gelling together?
It's the core guys, like you talk about the Maple Leafs and having their core 4, like we got core guys too. Like, you got Duncan, you got Ring, you got Peters, you got Strecker, Lawson. You got some Bernardo. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. Like, they make sure all the young guys and even the other vet guys are on the same page and they're ready to go. Like, they're dialed in. And for me, it's to make sure that they're feeling good. And if there's anything I can do for them, I'm make sure that I'm there for them. But it's about them, and they're playing the game, and I just help to prepare them as best as I can. But man, it's the core that really gets these guys going.
And when you take a look around this Bernie Arbor Stadium and you see the fans that are in the stands, probably a little different than when you played.
Yeah, you can count on your hand. How many fans were in the crowd. So, like, to come to the field myself, like, it gives you a good energy. It gives you a good boost. So I can't imagine, like, playing in front of this crowd. It's really got to get your gears going and just making you feel good. Adrenaline for how many hours that you're on the field, and it's hard to come down from it when you leave the field, right? So that's how good the energy is here. And Eric the owner has really brought a great energy, and we're so lucky to have him. And just the whole organization, everyone in the backgrounds that are working their tail off to make this happen for us.
Well, Chris, thanks very much for your time, and I'm sure we'll be talking a lot going forward. But good luck the rest of the season, and we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Well, big thanks to Troy Islikar for catching up with Cardinals manager Chris Piano. As Brandon Nicholson puts this one on the ground, Salazzo pops up. Ball is in behind Julian Johnson. That's going to roll to the foul fence. Keeler Loveridge is going to press his luck. He's coming all the way around to score, and Nicholson's in at third.
Nicholson went to third on that play, and Salazzo not looking too happy on that one. On the infield.
Yeah, I don't know if Jonathan Salazzo has been overly happy with Julian Johnson at first base.
No, it just looks like he threw it there, and it's like looked like it was on the money, but I think Johnson just thought Nicholson was going to be in the field of play there, so he bailed out on it.
So a 4-1 lead now for the Hamilton Cardinals as Keeler Loveridge off his single comes all the way around to score after he was sacrificed along by Brandon Daly. And Zach Marriott, who everyone had him in the preseason poll leading the team in RBIs right now, right?
Yep, he is leading the poll in the RBIs right now, and it was up there as far as batting average, too. So
Did you predict that coming in?
I did not, no. But this guy is definitely growing on me.
As that ball,
If he doesn't have a fan club, I'm willing to be his president.
I'll join.
Yep.
Because Zach Marriott has been a lot of fun to watch already.
Okay.
As the ball delivered by Christidis, and it'll be in low. 2-1 the count. I paused just momentarily there, Neil, because when you and Nate start talking about scoring and how it's all judged, that's fascinating to me.
Yep. Well, we're just asking things. I'm trying to make sure I have it on my book too here, so we don't give the people at home the wrong information here. That one's lined in there for a base hit, and Zach Marriott continues the onslaught. RBI number 10 on the season.
Another one for Zach Marriott, the RBI single that will cash Brandon Nicholson.
Stepping up to the plate, just shortstop, number 5, Tyler Duncan.
And Tyler Duncan will step back in.
5-1 Cardinals now. Not the start the Maple Leafs wanted here, even despite the lineup. And you can just see Salazzo does not look like he's happy at all over there. I don't know if he's battling this bug, but he's just not a happy camper at third.
No, he is not looking too pleased just at the moment. And that ball in the dirt, and Marriott is going to take off for second as Lachlan Maud had it slip just through the wickets. What do we know about Zach Marriott, Neil? He can hit the ball and he can run.
Hendricks College. Saw his dad with one of the sweatshirts on, I think last Friday night. Didn't get to say hi or anything because I was just wanting to go home, I think. But I'll definitely take the time and say hi to his dad one of these nights.
Oh, he had great numbers at the collegiate levels. Duncan puts this one on the ground, and it's going to be 2 away as Johnson steps back on the bag.
Duncan hits another ground ball to the first base side, gets the out, and moves the runner up again. And Marriott's now standing at third for Luis Bernardo with 2 away. So Keeler Loveridge led off the inning while Troy was interviewing Chris Piano. He singled. Brendan Daly moved him to second base with the sacrifice bunt. Then Nicholson singled. Ran all the way to third on the air. And then Zach Marriott with the RBI single to bring home Brandon Nicholson. So I think everybody's caught up now. And Duncan grounded out 4-3.
Which moves Marriott to third.
Exactly.
There we go. The bookkeeping has been taken care of.
Yep.
And now can Luis Bernardo extend this lead again for the Cardinals? As Christidis delivers that one off the outside edge. 2-0 the count.
I just have this gut feeling about this Cardinals team. They're about due to go on a big run here. They're going to just, for some reason, they're going to put up a big number as far as wins together in a short period of time.
Well, we saw them get off to a really strong start last year, Neil, and they weren't able to hang on, and that was due in large part to a number of injuries.
Yep.
And as the summer carried on and we got into July and August, it became a real fight for bodies to see who was available. And the number of nights that we sat up here and saw the Cardinals hang in ball games,
Yep.
and it just felt like nothing would go right for them.
Yep.
It feels like there may be a bit of a turn coming in this season.
Well, even last night when they were up there in Barrie, and it's just like, from a fan standpoint or even just a player standpoint, the Barrie Baycats beat you last year in the playoffs.
Yep.
So you go up there and you sent a message. You sent a message last night. Hey, we're not the same team as last year. We're not gonna roll over and play dead when Frank Garces is on the hill anymore.
No, that's a big message to send as well. As Christidis will wind and deliver, and he'll get Luis Bernardo swinging through it. And Bernardo has the count full, as I thought maybe he had a little bit of dust come up in the eye or something there as he kind of looked back.
Yep, he was just dusting off his gloves off as well, so something went up.
Full count. Bernardo swings this one into left center field, falling quickly, and Bernardo's going to have an RBI as Marriott comes around to score, and he will be standing at second with the RBI double.
Bernardo now 1 for 2 on the night. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Now has a double to go along with it. That'll up the average up a few more points as Bernardo came into action batting .385 so far. 11 hits on the season now.
And Bernardo and Jose Vinicio are sharing a hug out at second base. No, pardon me. That is Bernardo and Charlie Towers.
Charlie Towers, yep.
Sharing the hug out at second base.
Bernardo's probably checking in on the youngster. And probably sharing stories of his kids back home.
Luis Bernardo's just a great guy.
Yeah,
Great personality.
He made quite the impression on Jenny downstairs when he was coaching the junior team that one night. And I don't know, Jenny seems to like him a lot now too, so that's good.
I've met him a couple of times. He's always got time.
Yep.
Just a really happy guy. It's infectious.
It is. It is. And Dennis DeBanning will come to bat. He doubled his first time up and scored a run last inning.
Christidis just had the chat from the dugout.
Yep.
Just trying to settle things down and get through this inning. Cardinals up 6-1.
I'm not sure who's available in the bullpen tonight, so it looks like it might be Merrick Deska, though, but hard to see from here.
Yeah, it is a real light group for the Maple Leafs tonight.
Yep. Illness and weddings and everything else, and just it's a Friday night. Guys sometimes just can't get out of work early on a Friday.
Yep. As Christidis will wind and deliver, and DeBanning got a good hold of it, but shot it foul.
Or in my case, I just kind of snuck out of the office at 3:30 and didn't tell anybody.
Was the Bond music playing while you
I was the only
snuck your way to the door?
Yeah, I was the only one left in the office, too, so it's just like, you know what? If anybody really needs something, they know how to get a hold of me.
Fair enough. DeBanning shoots this one over to first, and Johnson will bring that in. The Toronto Maple Leafs retire the side, but not before damage done. Another 3 runs come across, and the Hamilton Cardinals hold a 6-1 lead through 2 full innings, as we will hear from our friends at Armstrong's Bird Food when we return to Mountain Mitsubishi Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14.
Sometimes the littlest things can make the biggest difference. Like nature brightening your day. Bring nature to your backyard with Armstrong Bird Food. Feeding Cardinals since 1986.
It's Mountain Mitsubishi Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. Neil, is it just me, or does Luis Bernardo always look like the best part of his night?
I think
is
that
when
is.
the kids are running the base.
I think it just lights up his night to see all those kids come out. And my goodness, there was a lot of kids tonight.
Yeah, Emily called them on, and as if the Pied Pipers,
Yep.
they all came a-running. And it's just so funny watching Luis Bernardo down behind home plate in the catcher's gear,
Yep.
and the kids coming around towards home, especially the really little ones, just look up and go, whoa.
Oh. Yeah.
Who is this big man in the suit of armor?
Yep.
Oh, no one important, just the all-star catcher.
Just
right?
the all-star
Just the-
catcher, yeah,
As Brett Lawson returning to the hill. 5-run lead now to work with, and the Maple Leafs, they're pressed tonight, Neil. There's no two
Oh, they
ways
are.
about it. And we've seen Dean Christidis be a little victimized by a couple errors in the field that have extended innings for the Cardinals.
Yep. Well, the good news now is the sun's gone down off the infield now, so you shouldn't have that many problems again. But, yeah, it's just been a rough outing for the Leafs here in the first couple innings.
Yeah, we saw Jonathan Salazzo, who will lead off this top of the third, and he just looked a little
Frustrated.
yeah.
Like he's not usually that kind of guy. He's usually the happiest guy on the field. He'd be waving at people and everything else, but, yeah, he's just not happy.
A couple throws from third to first where I don't know if it's that the first baseman, Julian Johnson, has picked the ball up late, if it's got lost in the sun, or where it looks like Salazzo's put it really on the money and it's
Yep.
just escaped on him.
And it could just be Johnson hasn't played first base in a while, too.
That could be it as well. As Lawson delivers and Salazzo will run that one to foul ground.
Of course, John's changed railway jobs. He's no longer with CN. Now he's with Via Rail, so he's working the day shift.
I'm assuming he likes that better.
I think he does so far. Doesn't mean he has to dash out of a ballpark at 10 after 10 to get to work for 11, wherever it is now. So I'm sure it's an adjustment for him, too.
Yeah, I think I would enjoy the day shift better if I was in his shoes.
Yeah.
Or cleats.
We had this whole interview we recorded in April, but unfortunately I lost the audio to it.
Salazzo will swing this one into center field, and Brandon Nicholson is underneath it.
We had a great time. I think we recorded almost 2 hours, and the audio didn't come through all the way through. I was just like, man.
Oh, those are the ones that.
Yeah.
That takes a day or two before you can smile again.
No, I was just like, because we have been waiting for like a year to get this interview done, too. And it was just like kept in working schedule-wise and everything else. And it was just like, oh, man, we just lost it all.
So, actually, a funny story. Matty Gallant, who is downstairs running the wireless camera for us tonight, and he's doing a great job. He works with me at the Bulldogs.
Yep.
And one of his first big assignments was after the trade deadline in 2022, when the Bulldogs were going on the run, he was filming an interview of me and Steve Staios, at the time still our president and general manager. Mm-hmm. And we start the interview, and Matty has this look on his face as if he has seen a ghost.
Uh-oh.
And I saw it, and I stopped, and he said, I don't think the sound was ever on.
Oh, no.
As Lachlan Maude will send this one into left field. He was terrified that Steve was going to be upset. Steve Staios thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
No.
The only problem was he and I then had to try to remember what it was we had just
Well,
talked
exactly. It's like I didn't have the heart. I told John like a day later, I'm like, man, we lost the audio. I can't ask you to do this again. So if you're coming to Guelph earlier some night, we'll sit down, we'll do it live so we don't have to worry about this audio issues again. But it was just hilarious. It was just a great conversation to have with Salazzo.
Especially when you get that kind of in-depth with him as well.
We talked about, growing up, how he loved and everything else, his parents and everything else. They were encouraging him to take up baseball, how he got work starting the railroad. And, of course, we shouted out the Bushman as well. He went through some of his favorite chants, the chirps he's heard over the years from the Bushman.
Is that the most intimidating field to play in the IBL?
I don't, even as a broadcaster, I don't think I want to go in there just to kind of – I would just lose it.
Yeah, I've watched games from Toronto, and I think, no.
I think I would just lose it because they would get under my skin and be like, yeah, we're going to rattle the broadcaster today, guys, just to see what happens.
It does feel like they just have fun.
They do. They're a great bunch of guys and gals that hang out in that area and everything else. And if you're an IBL fan, you got to put it on your bucket list to go down there on a Sunday afternoon, hang out with them. They're going to drink under the table, but just hang out. Maybe have a beverage with them, a soda pop or something, but just have some fun with them.
Yeah, that is on my bucket list for the IB. I want to go and hang out and just for an afternoon and have some fun. Because it looks like, we talk about what we see in Welland, obviously here in Hamilton, and how much fun this is with Emily, the director of fun, running around downstairs.
Yep.
But that atmosphere in Toronto does look like a blast as Dos Santos puts this one on the ground. Charging it is Marriott to first. Oh, Tanner Rempel again. He dug that one out of the dirt.
Rempel is the human scoop.
He had to have played goaltender somewhere along the line. We're going to have to find this out.
Paging Dave Rempel. Please fill us in on the details.
That's right. Yeah, where did he learn to scoop balls like that over at first and just make some of the spectacular plays that we've seen him make in these last couple of weeks?
Now I'm suddenly picturing him playing stick hockey in the basement, defending the laundry machine or something.
I mean, that's,
with those mini sticks,
that's
every other kid does.
It's very possible. Did he want to be a goalie? Did he grow up idolizing goalies? Did he play goalie? It's got to be something.
Yep. Mott is off second base now with 2 away for Julian Johnston.
And Lawson worked ahead of him 0-2 and then just comes off the plate, 1-2. Lawson has the long look in at Johnson. He'll deliver. He gets Johnson swinging through it. It's another strikeout for Lawson. And Neil, that is his 4th of the ball game. He's got 1 in each inning that he's pitched.
And that was just an absolutely dirty pitch to Johnston.
Pardon me, it's
4.
4th
Yep,
with
that's
1 in each inning so far. And Neil, Brett Lawson having another really strong start.
He is having another great strong start, another resurgence in the legend that it is Brett Lawson.
We are through the top of the 3rd. We will be back with you for the bottom of the inning with the Cardinals up to bat on Mountain Mitsubishi. Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. Welcome back to Mountain Mitsubishi, Hamilton Cardinals. Hey, wait a minute.
Isn't it his day off?
I know that guy.
We know that guy.
Producer Brandon Nicolau is sitting in the stands. I believe he's actually enjoying a lager shed. That's the
like
Hamilton
the
Cardinals
one.
branded brew.
Save us the empty.
Where is he? Can we get a?
He must be down the first base
Oh, I
side.
see him. Yeah. He's down third base there, not working.
Yep.
And the funny thing is, as we zoom out, he's sitting right in front of where the truck is, too.
Yep.
He is taunting Travis Blackwell downstairs.
Oh, man.
I wonder if somebody just told him that he's...
By the way, you've just been ratted out.
Yeah, there you see the truck.
Yep.
Travis can almost see that can.
Yep. Josh Niles will lead things off here in the 3rd inning. Cardinals up 6-1 here at Bernie Arbor Stadium.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I have been so incredibly lucky over the years, from days gone by with the likes of Rob Newhouser and Bill Meems, and now, of course, with Brendan Nicolau, Travis Blackwell, Kane's downstairs as well, did so many of the games for us last year. Cable 14 has been the home of great, great producers. As the ball on the ground, Vinicio to first, and he'll be in time to retire Niles.
I'm going to definitely chalk the first 2 innings up to the sun.
Yeah, that was a much cleaner scoop there.
Now it seems like Johnson can see the ball again and everything's okay.
Stepping up to the plate, the first baseman, number 44, Tanner Rempel.
So Rempel will step in, and he did not look happy with himself, Neil, after his first at bat, the fly just into shallow right.
I think he just got a little too far underneath that one and popped it in the air.
But even if the bat's not working for him, what he's been doing in the field has been nothing short of spectacular.
Yep.
I mean, we marveled at him a few times last week, and already tonight he's had a couple of plays at first base, including one that didn't count.
Yep.
That have been brilliant.
We're definitely going to have to ask him about that one down the line, though. Jeez. I don't think he saw it till it was right in the glove.
Oh, there's no way. Same problem that Johnson had been dealing with. As Christidis, who has continued on here into the bottom of the third. Ball off the outside, 2-1.
He might just be called upon here to eat up a couple more innings while his arm can still go here. Because there's no activity in the Leafs bullpen. Whoever was warming up, as that obviously has shut it down.
I was going to say, we saw somebody warming up for the Maple Leafs, but it's ended quickly. Ball on the ground, Rempel over to Vinicio, and to Johnson at first, 2 away. So identical 6-3 putouts to open up the bottom of the third inning.
I think the Leafs are off tomorrow. They have the Royals going in there to Dominique Field on Sunday afternoon too. So maybe it's just kind of like trying to just piece this one through to get by through this one and hope to regroup on Sunday.
The Guelph Royals, who have played the fewest amount of games in the IBL.
They've had 2 rainouts already.
And yet have scored 44 runs.
Yeah. They have the lowest ERA and the most RBI, most runs totaled in the league.
I think it's 44-8.
Yeah.
Oh.
Their pitching staff has been outstanding.
So we look at the top of the standings in the IBL, and it seems like it's just a matter of time before the Royals are sneaking up and going, hey, remember us?
Yeah, we remember, when people picked us to finish 7th or 8th? Not this year.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
But as you mentioned earlier on, Neil, the Cardinals trying to get on a run. It's why it's so important now, because the Welland Jackfish has Keeler Loveridge to a 1-2 count. The Welland Jackfish have sputtered a little bit, 4-3, but for them, I think that qualifies as sputtering a little bit off the start.
But again, the Jackfish also started off last year slow.
True. But nobody has really run away yet. So the Cardinals with a chance to stake a claim early high in the standings, knowing that Guelph is going to make their way up there.
Oh, exactly.
Unless something dramatic happens.
And if you're the Cardinals, I'd rather play a series with the home field advantage in that first round anyways, because they play better here.
Absolutely. Christidis will get Loveridge on the swing, and that will end the third inning. Cardinals back to the field with a 6-1 lead when we return to Mountain Mitsubishi Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14.
Check.
Mitsubishi Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14. And we just saw Tanner Rempel again going circus move as Neil, he almost corkscrewed himself into the foul line.
But he still came up with the baseball.
Yeah, somehow doing it to retire Connor Lewis. As Brett Lawson continuing on to work here in the 4th inning.
As a 2-1 count on Charlie Towers as the geese fly over our head here.
Doesn't get a whole lot more Canadian than that, does it?
Nope.
Sun setting on a beautiful Friday night. It's a flying V. As the ball runs in low. And
Suddenly I'm picturing the Mighty Ducks.
Can probably finally take the sunglasses off now too, can't I?
Yeah.
As Brett Lawson will wind and deliver, and Towers on the ground, and they found a way to get it through Tanner Rempel.
Yeah, just bounced it a couple times in front of him, off to his left.
Yeah, hit it at a rocket speed and just fire it through the infield.
And that's 75 pitches for Brett Lawson into the 4th inning, so likely he'll get through this inning and maybe one more.
I think that would be the ideal spot for the Cardinals. Some stretching starting down at the bullpen, but I don't see any urgency.
No, there's like 6 guys standing around like they're bodyguards down there.
All in the black sweaters. Just, all right, what's going on?
Yep. Yeah, I play on the varsity team. See the big V on my shirt? Sorry.
As Lawson will look back to first, and Towers will slide back in. Jamie Cabral up.
They do have some of the sharpest swag in the league, I'll say that.
Oh, well, there's no doubt about that. The rebrand of the Cardinals has just gone to a completely different level.
Well, I was joking with Jenny when I came into the ballpark because we stopped at the merch tent just to say hi and everything else and look at everything and went, need it. Not sure I'd wear it. You'd probably steal this one.
That's always the way.
Yeah.
Some of them you got to get to.
Yeah.
As Lawson, that off speed started at almost at Cabral's shoulder. It just didn't quite come back over the plate.
Cabral does have a single in the contest in the 2nd inning.
Towers way off first base. Cabral puts this one on the ground. It'll get underneath the glove of Niles. And Towers is going to be stopped at second as Duncan goes back for it. And that one just absolutely died out on Josh Niles.
Yeah, Josh Niles thought he had a beat on it, and it just died in a hurry. He was anticipating to play it on the bounce, and the bounce that never happened.
Yikes.
Cabral now 2 for 2. Runners at first and second here in the 4th for the Maple Leafs.
And it's Vinicio back up.
Vinicio 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out.
Almost like the grass just reached up and pulled it back down. Vinicio on the ground. Cut off there by Marriott. Swung on to second for one, and Duncan to Rempel. Double play. What a turn. Marriott to Duncan, who delivers a dart. And Tanner Rempel again sure-handed. And the Cardinals end the threat right there. Neil, this is brilliance defensively.
It's a great job, and it heads up by Lawson not to knock it down too much. And there goes a bullet to get the speedster Vinicio down the line, who thought he almost beat that one out as he tossed the helmet away in disgust.
4-6-3 double play ends the threat. We'll be back with a bottom of 4. You're watching Mountain Mitsubishi, Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. It's Mountain Mitsubishi Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14. The Hamilton Cardinals leading the Toronto Maple Leafs by a 6-1 score. And the Leafs have made the call to the bullpen. Dean Christidis' night is over, and it is Marek Deska who will take over for Toronto.
The Polish Prince, member of the Polish I guess want to say European team as well. Marek Deska takes over. 7 innings pitched so far on the season, a 5.14 ERA. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks. Has allowed 6 hits so far, including 2 triples.
Odd.
Very odd. I don't think they would be at Dominico Field as far as those triples go, but
I can't imagine, no.
unless they went off the top of the fence in right field, which is now 15 feet tall. So
That's, now you might be onto something.
yeah, which according to my nephew who plays in that diamond, it's still not high enough for Salazzo not to kill us.
No, it wouldn't be.
Well, it's great to see my nephew Luke playing in the High Park teams for the Toronto Playgrounds.
And how cool is that the Maple Leafs are right there?
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty spectacular. As Deska delivers and gets the outside on Daly, whose first at bat was a sac bunt.
Yep. So my brother's proud Papa Instagram posts.
Deska getting that outside edge. I mean, as he should be.
Yeah. He's got that respect.
As Deska delivers, and Daly will swing this one out of play. Well, actually, that works double because I meant for your brother as the proud papa on the post.
Yep.
He should be putting those up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. It's nice to see another kid with a ridiculously long last name having to play put that name on a jersey.
Does it go from armpit to armpit?
I'm thinking it does.
Yeah.
I know my Blue Jays one does.
As Daly will swing this one high and out. I remember my favorite one at the World Juniors a few years ago. He ended up drafting the Edmonton Oilers. Was Magnus Svensson Päivärinta. He was half Finn, half Swede. And the name bar, it was like a smaller font, and it still went
across
from
the whole back,
shoulder to shoulder.
Yep.
As Deska delivers, Daly puts this one on the ground. It'll sneak its way through the infield, and Daly's on with a single.
A valiant effort by Salazzo, but that one just found its way through the infield. Daly's aboard.
Center fielder number 4, Brandon Nicholson.
And Brandon Nicholson will be the batter now.
Speaking of which, talking about the Polish Prince and Marek Deska, I know my dad is watching, so for him I'm going to date myself somewhat. For me, that goes back to the days of Mariusz Czerkowski in the early 90s with the Bruins. His first stint with the Bruins. He had a second one in the early 2000s. My dad was a bigger fan of him the second time than the first time. Yeah, and actually, big happy birthday to my dad yesterday. He and I are 8 days apart in that category.
But many years apart.
I won't say how many.
No, I'm not going to go there.
No.
'Cause, that'll date myself too.
As Nicholson will flare it out.
Apparently Jenny's got some pretty big plans for the next one.
Oh!
Yeah. I'm like, well, I usually don't make a big deal of it. So let's keep it that way, please.
I don't think you're going to have a choice, pal.
I don't think so.
If she's already making the plans.
Yeah, we got a whole year to plan that thing still.
Well, hey, maybe we can get Troy over there to help her out with some ideas, too. Where's Troy?
He's down there somewhere.
He's pretty good at coming up with
Last
stuff.
seen
to
in the
get you
snack
going.
bar, if I'm not mistaken. So.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see him at the snack bar again at some point.
Yep.
As Brandon Nicholson staring at the 1-2 from Deska. On the run is Daly. And the throw is off target. Nicholson strikes out, but Daly into second.
Give Daly the stolen base, the strikeout on Nicholson. One away here in the 4th. I think Daly just had a mouthful of dirt as he slid into second base, so that's why he didn't get up and take off to third.
Yeah, I know.
I think him and Rempel are having competitions to see who can go home with the dirtiest jersey out there.
Ooh. That's an interesting question. Zach Marriott steps in, who has his 10th RBI of the season in this game. And Marriott might have another one here. Is this one falling quickly into left field? Daly's going to test it, coming home, and the ball on the ground, and he does. It's a 2 RBI game for Zach Marriott, making this a 7-1 lead. Daly scores. And Neil, this young man is putting himself very quickly into Rookie of the Year territory.
Definitely is, that's for sure.
It's his second hit of the ball game, his second RBI.
Yep. And then Tyler Duncan comes up after him. It's like, okay, thanks for setting the table, son.
And let's see what Tyler Duncan, the reigning MVP, has up his sleeve. And Marriott on the run to second. Did he make it? He did.
No hesitation at all. Marriott must have saw something from Deska's delivery that he could pick up on, and he stole that base on the first movement.
What isn't this kid doing right now?
I don't know. But he seems to be putting the total package together here for the Cardinals.
Excellent field work. Coming through at the dish as Duncan rolls this one right through the infield. Marriott's on his horse. Connor Lewis up with the ball. They're not going to try it, and Zach Marriott crosses on the RBI single from Tyler Duncan.
Duncan with his 6th RBI of the week already, and the Cardinals have got a couple more ball games too. So who knows, he might be in that player of the week conversation already.
I think he's definitely making a case for himself as 5 RBIs last night.
Yeah.
And an RBI single at his 3rd time up tonight. And that brings Luis Bernardo in, who also has an RBI in the ballgame. As Deska delivers, and that one's outside. 8-1 now for the Cardinals. 3 in the first, 3 in the second, now 2 in the fourth, with only 1 away.
Cardinals have just found that second gear here tonight.
And Duncan's off. And he'll slide in for the stolen base.
Yeah, they definitely must have seen something with Deska's delivery because they're not even wasting time here. I don't know if it's a tell or they just have that much renewed confidence here.
I don't know, but now in this inning, Neil, we've seen Daly, Marriott, and Duncan all with stolen bases.
Yep.
So there's definitely got to be something in that delivery that they've picked up on. What it is, I couldn't tell you. As Deska delivers, and that one outside, 2-1.
Well, I remember Deska as a high schooler with High Park, even so it was just like, okay. I've just gotten so used to it. Maybe I just haven't picked it up.
Oh, that's an interesting point. As Deska will deliver, Bernardo puts it on the ground, and it's underneath Johnston's glove. Duncan's going to round third. He'll come home. 9-1 for the Cardinals. Their 3rd 3-run inning of the ball game. Luis Bernardo, his 2nd RBI on the single.
And that's going to prompt a mound visit as Sam Green's coming out here to have a conversation with Marek Deska. Probably more like, hey, buddy, just keep your head up. Fortunately, the defense not been able to help you out too much here.
No, and it's been unfortunate, Neil, thus far for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It just hasn't gone their way whatsoever tonight.
Or even Wednesday night even. It was like Sam Green had to leave the ball game due to an arm injury too, so it's just like, okay. So what do you got down there now? Like there's not anybody throwing. There was somebody getting loose, but again, they've got games on. They got another game on Sunday, so I don't know what they've got left down there. They went through a lot of pitchers on Wednesday night, so the schedule's not do them any favors. You might be in a situation where Jonathan Salazar or somebody in the later stages of this game's going to have to pitch an inning or two.
Well, we've seen Luis Bernardo do it in the past for the Cardinals. As DeBanning steps in. He has a double and a run scored, and he shoots this up the middle. Vinicio at short will get one over to first. Double play. Vinicio able to turn 2 and get the Maple Leafs out of the inning. but it's another 3 runs across for the Hamilton Cardinals. They lead 9-1. You're watching Mountain Mitsubishi Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14.
Top of the 5th.
Welcome back to Mountain Mitsubishi Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball. And every Friday night on this season, Mountain Mitsubishi is so proud to be the partner on Cable 14 to bring you these ball games located at 2515 Upper James right here in Hamilton. Go see our friends at Mountain Mitsubishi. And there you see Emily guiding the youngsters around the ballpark.
The 5th inning is brought to you by McPhail Auto.
The queen of energy.
No surprise.
I don't know how she does it. I really don't. She does it at afternoon games. She does it at night games. I don't know how she is that on all the time. I was up for several hours last night between the 2 little ones,
Yep.
trying to allow my my wonderful wife some rest because
You're a good man.
well, I mean, she deals with it every day, all week. So
Yep.
when I can help out, I'm doing my best. But I woke up this morning and did not know where I was.
That's not a very good sign.
I was so tired.
Yeah.
I think I slept for about an hour and a half. And I was just like, whoa, all right.
It was a rare Thursday night off for me, and what was I doing? I was watching 3 baseball games at the same time last night.
Checks out.
Yeah, so you know.
Best Lawson delivers.
I had the Cardinals game on, I had the Panthers Barnstormer game on, and I had the Jackfish and Brantford game going on, and I was clipping out things all over the place last night.
Brantford, who right now in the top of the 4th are trailing the London Majors by a 5-0 score.
Yep. Red Sox had a 3-1 lead in that into the 7th inning last night, and I think if they had one more pitcher out there and able to do something last night, they probably could have locked that one down.
The number of times we said that last season as
Yep.
well, Neil, where they were just a pitcher or 2 short. And, of course, they will face some adversity on the season as one of the best players in the IBL will
Yep.
take off for a time. As Matt Fabian heading south of the border, I believe.
Yep, he's going to be heading to the Empire League. I believe the last time his dad, Dave, said it was June 5th, so not a couple days away here.
Ooh.
He's going to be leaving them to go give the indie ball circuit a little bit of a taste, anyways, of what Matt Fabian can do.
I think he's going to be pretty darn successful
I
as
think so, too.
Brett Lawson working outside and then inside on Jordan Castaldo to run this 3-2.
And of course, Rob Butler, the Maple Leafs manager, was throwing batting practice to Fabian yesterday morning. So I thought that was kind of fun. But again, Fabian and Butler have a long history together. So I think he was just trying to give him some offer and some advice and everything. 7:30 in the morning, they're out throwing batting practice. And last night, Fabian goes 3 for 3 in the contest, reaches base 5 times, gets hit by a pitch twice.
How do I get some of that advice?
Yeah, well, exactly.
That's,
I was gonna razz him. What, you're trying to get some advanced scouting here for Fabian, like my coach did in high school? And I got to shout out Coach Dag here again, because like we had Jeremy Ware, who played for the Centennial Spartans. He was on the former Expo, former Canadian Olympian. He was our opponent in the high school semifinals that one year. So Coach Dag was his friend, I guess his son Reed was really good friends with Jeremy and everything else. They threw batting practice the night before the semifinals. Coach Dag is out there in center field, in the field we're going to play on the next day, with his Tim Hortons coffee cup. He buries the lid out in the center field, told our center fielder the exact instructions. You stand exactly where this cup is. He's going to hit within 5 feet of you all game. Jeremy went 0 for 3 in the game. Everything was to center field. I wish Coach Dag had done that maybe 2 weeks before that when I was playing right field, because I'm still looking for that baseball. That thing was a rocket over my head, and I don't know where it went.
So he got a little bit of inside scouting work done.
Yeah, you got a little bit done. And to this day, I still tease Jeremy Ware about that every time.
Well, hey, it worked.
It did.
Goodness. Jonathan Salazzo looking at a 1-2 from Brett Lawson. That's a great story. Whoa! Lawson just entered the matrix.
And Salazzo's asking if he's okay here. Waving at him, say, "You're okay, man? You're okay?" He's checking on him again, and, you know, the hand signals, "We're good, man."
Woo! That's a big guy to get out of the way as quick as Brett Lawson did.
And I think Bernardo's just giving a little pressure as Lawson saying, "My life just flashed before my eyes out here."
Yeah. Salazzo with as hard hit of a single as you're going to see. And he had to get the heck out of Dodge.
Whoa.
Whoa. Good Lord.
And then the bend bird backwards as his legs went back underneath him, too. Salazzo checking on him right away.
Whoa, that shot from the backside looks even scarier. And, yeah, now everybody's kind of giving Brett Lawson a minute
just
here.
a breather just to make sure he's okay and, you know, make sure his legs are still underneath him because they weren't clearly after that.
No, he got just enough of an eye on it to bend back out of the way. Whoa, boy.
Yep.
Funny when nothing bad happens.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yes.
I'm sure they'll laugh about that one later on in life, but not tonight.
My goodness. As Lawson winds and delivers, and that one will catch the outside edge. First strike to Lachlan Maud.
Maud 1 for 2 in the contest, a single in the third inning, struck out looking in the first.
Working here with Castaldo at second, Salazzo at first. And goodness, everybody's in the line of fire right now as our home plate umpire just took one off the shoulder.
At least he's got some padding up there, but probably not a lot.
Luis Bernardo turned right around to him to make sure he was okay,
Yep.
and hey, that's toughness. We're staying right in it.
Yep.
As Lawson has the look in, and Maud will stay alive, fouling that one away. Cardinals with a 9-1 lead, 3-run outbursts in each of the first, second, and fourth innings. As Lawson has the long look in. And that one low. Tried to get Maud to chase it. Maud not getting ahead of himself there, Neil, staying right in it.
Definitely is. The youngster's definitely unfazed by Lawson's presence out here.
Whoa, and Lawson ran that one inside. Had to back out of the way to Lachlan Maud, 2-2. So a bit of a dangerous spot here. Nobody out. 2 on, and that's going to run the count full.
You got to think this is probably Lawson's last inning here. There is somebody warming up down there.
We saw Lawson complete 5.
And the umpire's asking for something. I don't know if he's asking for baseballs or what there.
Yeah, not sure. Saw him go over and have a word with Chris Piano.
Maybe somebody was sitting on the wrong side of the fence, and that's when they didn't want him out there.
Looks like everything is back the way it's supposed to be. And on the outside edge, Lawson gets the strikeout, has Maud staring.
5 Ks on the contest for Brett Lawson, equaling last week's output. And Ryan DeSantos will now be the batter with 1 away and 2 on.
And Lawson could be a ground ball away from ending the threat. Not going to get that one on the outside. Just a little bit too far. Want to know the count. We are just seeing Brett Lawson give these Cardinals quality innings time and time again, Neil.
He definitely has. And You know, for when you and I talked in September and everything else, we figured that was it for him, and we figured it was it for our friend down the way, the principal.
Yeah, we thought it was the end of the run for two legends
Yep.
in the IBL. And instead, we got them both back.
We got them both back, and it's like, okay. They both have something left in the tank, and they have left something they want to give back to this team.
Though barring a monstrous comeback, I'm not sure we'll see Strecker tonight.
No.
He's usually saved for save situations or something close to, as that ball runs inside, and it'll allow Castaldo and Salazzo to each advance.
Wild pitch would be the call, I am sure. Nate's not telling me otherwise, so I'm guessing so.
And Dos Santos sees his opportunity improve here from one runner in scoring position to two. With just the one out and a 3-1 count, Dos Santos on the ground, going to run foul.
And now to run the count to full.
You know, Brett Lawson here would love to go back-to-back strikeouts and run the Maple Leafs to a second out. And Dos Santos will fight it off at the hands. Marriott tried to track it down, and as he lifted, that ball kicked up off of him. It'll be enough to score Castaldo, and then Salazzo will come home, and it's 9-3.
Give Dos Santos a single, 2 RBIs. And the Maple Leafs are back on the scoreboard, now down by 6. It's 9-3.
Stepping up to the plate, the first baseman, number 25, Julian Johnson.
Tough play there for Zach Marriott, who is in really good position. But the ball, as he scooped it, Neil, came up and caught him off the arm and then shot into center field. And Lawson comes right back, looking to shake that off with a strike on Johnson. So still one away with Dos Santos over at first. Lawson delivers, and Johnson sends that one foul.
Definitely does.
0-2. Brett Lawson delivers. Gets Johnson swinging through it. It's another K for the long arm of the Lawson for the Cardinals.
Got to bring up Connor Lewis, who's 0 for 2. A strikeout and a flyout to the first baseman on the corkscrew play.
Yeah, Tanner Rempel just pulling off some magic defensively. Dean Castelli's going to join us in the bottom of the inning as Lewis sends this one through the gap into left field. And Daly will come on. 2 out, 2 on, as Connor Lewis has the single.
Lewis, the veteran, comes through with a single.
Number 2, Charlie Towers.
With Dos Santos up to second base. And Charlie Towers, who's 1 for 2 in the contest, will be the batter now.
And in what is likely Lawson's last inning of work for the night, he'll get Towers to flare into left. Underneath it is Daly. And the top of the inning comes to a close. The Cardinals with a 9-3 lead. Bats in their hands for the bottom of the 5th. And Dean Castelli when we return to Mountain Mitsubishi. Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. It's Mountain Mitsubishi, Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball. Cards with a 9-3 lead entering the bottom of the fifth inning over the Toronto Maple Leafs. As always, it is a pleasure to be joined upstairs by Dean Castelli. Dean, welcome back.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it, and it's always a pleasure. Thanks.
Of course, we're happy to have you up here with us. And tonight, the Cardinals with another burst of offense. We saw it last night in Barrie. Again here tonight against the Maple Leafs. What's been the difference so far, and what is a busy week?
Well, I know last night I watched some of the game, and it's all about putting the ball in play. I think the Cardinals have done a good job of putting the ball in play and making the defense work. You saw last night there was a lot of errors on the Barrie side, and you're seeing it tonight on the Toronto side. You put the ball in play, you got good chances to make things happen.
Dean, this young man that's playing second base, Zach Marriott, arriving in the IBL, and Neil and I were joking about it earlier on. I mean, everybody would have predicted the rookie to lead the team in RBIs after the first few weeks, right? Can you put into words what this kid's doing?
You know what? He's a special player. You can see it from the onset when I first laid eyes on him. He's a hustler. He works hard, and he's very smart. So, I mean, as a 22-year-old coming into the league like this, making an impact the way he has, just by watching him, it's not a surprise.
We've seen him play third. He bumps over to second with the return of Josh Niles, who's up to bat to open up the bottom of the fifth, which adds more flexibility in this Cardinals lineup and another monstrous bat in Niles to the middle. How valuable is it to get Niles back and to have that kind of ability to move pieces around the board?
The flexibility is huge. You know, when you can add pieces and depth pieces as well, you can play chess. You know, you can move guys around to where they're comfortable, slot guys in and out, and feel comfortable. Whatever lineup you put on the field, it's going to be a good one.
Slotting guys in and out. Danny Berg leads the team in batting average to open up the season. A brilliant start for him. Not even in the lineup tonight. They're still producing 9 runs.
Yes, Danny Berg. He's coaching actually this weekend, so he's got other commitments this weekend. But Danny Berg's been something special to watch this year too as well. He's a real team guy. All these guys are real team guys.
Looks like Marek Deska has settled in a bit as he'll get Niles swinging for the strikeout. We've seen now the returns of both Brett Lawson and Stefan Strecker to this team. Brett Lawson has gone through his last 10 innings in his last 2 starts, giving up just 3 runs. Stefan Strecker we've seen come in and do what Stefan Strecker does. How important is it for a lot of the young guys, including Atsuka and Iguchi being 2 young pitchers coming from another country, for all this group to have Strecker and Lawson out there?
Well, you know, these guys are winners, right? Strecker won with Brantford. Lawson won with Barrie. It's that experience. You know, these guys have been around the track a couple of times, you know, and any tips that they can give these guys, I'm sure they pass along the way. They're great teammates. They're great people, too.
Is it like having an extra couple of coaches out there?
Absolutely it is. You know, you can lean on them to talk to the guys, where sometimes it's better that a player talks to a player rather than a coach talk to a player. I think that's real key. And these guys, I mean, they're competitors, and that's the one thing you get out of it. When you see these young guys looking at these old guys still kicking it and still going at it, I mean, that's something real special. And I always said, you know, you only got so long to play this game, so you play it as long as you can.
Tanner Rempel, who has been brilliant defensively, sends one into left field. And Dean, have you ever seen Tanner Rempel have a bad day?
I've never seen Tanner Rempel have a bad day. He's a real pleasure. You got to really understand to meet this guy, what a character fella he is. He brings so much to the ball club with his work ethic and his attitude. Such a positive attitude, such a tremendous fella.
I get a kick out of it every time I get a chance to have a couple of words with him downstairs or in the parking lot after a game. He's always happy. He's always smiling. Everything is always great when it comes to Tanner Rempel. And it really speaks to what you guys are doing in the front office and finding the character guys that we've talked about, and what emphasis has been put on that character element this season. It really makes a big difference as Rempel taking off for second, and right on cue he'll have the stolen base. it really has to make a big difference to everybody in that clubhouse, that extra emphasis on character.
Well, absolutely. And when you have certain players like Rempel is a second-year guy, but he's really an older guy, right? So he makes guys feel comfortable. And that's the key when you're coming up as a junior or as a first-year guy. Sometimes it's a little intimidating. And these guys, like a Bernardo, like a Rempel, like Duncan, these guys make you feel comfortable, and they make you feel welcome, and they make you feel confident. And I think that's the key, making them feel confident that they can do the job.
Neil, don't let me take all of Dean's time here. You gotta hop in. We got a wealth of IBL knowledge sitting with us.
Oh, exactly. We do. As Keeler Leverage goes down for the strikeout, and that's the second out of the inning. So, Dean, when you played in this league and everything else, how much did you notice the game has changed here as far as the league goes?
Well, that's a long conversation.
Yeah, it is.
The one thing I've noticed, the competition, the pitching is definitely better. I'm going to speak through experience with field conditions.
Yep.
Some of the batter's boxes when I played
Oh, goodness.
were very hilly and very deep. The pitcher's mounds as well. So the on-field conditions are fantastic.
Yeah.
Are fantastic. As far as the play goes, yeah, there was a lot more local guys back when I played.
Yep.
There's a lot more influx of out-of-province players
Yep.
now. The imports were American usually when I played. Now they come from all
They come from
parts.
all parts. You got guys
all
from
parts.
Japan. And
So yeah, that's really the biggest differences that I've noticed.
Yep. Yeah, I can go back to that. I can imagine you and I have probably spent many a night in the batter's boxes in Stratford as well, as far as that stuff goes. And Christy Pitts, before it became Dominique Field, was have some rough nights in there. You just you're thinking you're walking into a gravel pit, literally.
Christy Pitts. When I was talking about the batter's boxes, that's the batter's box I was thinking about.
I didn't want to pick it out right off the bat, but yeah.
But you know what? The field conditions now on every field, the batter's boxes are nice. The pitching mounds are great. You really can't complain too much about the on-field changes that each team has made in the league.
Yeah, no question, you can't.
As Brendan Daly made his way to first base, it scored Tanner Rempel as Vinicio was a little bit off target. And Dean, as we continue along, early parts of the season, but this Cardinals team, the depth of it at all positions, pitching that we've talked about, they've added so much talent there. It really feels like this is a team that can put on a big push this season.
I really think so. Early in the season, it's hard to tell. It's hard to gauge teams because some teams are laying back and seeing what they have and what they have to add, right? This Cardinal team right now is really just this is the team, right?
Yep.
And you got to bank these wins while you can right now. And this is a good, solid ball club, absolutely. The way they're playing right now, the way they're performing, I think they have a really good chance for a good push.
And that would be just huge. In the second year of Eric Spearin's ownership and the group that he's put in place, to take a run into the playoffs and really give the folks in Hamilton watching this team a whole lot of hope for it, not just this year, but moving forward. I mean, the building blocks are here. From what you guys have done at a front office level, it's nothing short of miraculous.
Well, like I said, the credit goes to Eric and George Halim and Larry Wood. They, like I said previously, they work tirelessly all year round. And, I guess I'm riding a little coattails right now. But, yeah, they work real hard, and they deserve a lot of the credit.
An RBI single for Brandon Nicholson. Nicholson was a player last year, Dean, that I think we were all kind of shocked became available for the Cardinals. The stolen base king in the IBL. How important was it to pick up a player of his experience and his skill set that we saw him play shortstop last year, and now you can just move him seamlessly back to center field?
Well, I think the fact that he's comfortable in the outfield. I think shortstop, we put a little too much on him last year. But you can just watch him. He causes havoc on the base pass. He's always on the move. you know the pitchers and the catchers and the players on the other team, they know he's going to swipe the base, and he ends up swiping, and that's exactly what he does.
It's just inevitable.
Yes.
As Marriott will swing this and a shallow left, and Zach Marriott has another RBI. Can you believe the start to this young man's IBL career? His third RBI of the night.
Third RBI, third hit, 13 on the season now for RBIs, and he's quite the player.
It's the scouting, Dean. It's the group that's been put together to be able to do this, and we talked about him right at the beginning, but I can't say enough about what we're seeing out of Zach Marriott, and to already have him hitting second behind Brandon Nicholson and right in front of Tyler Duncan as a rookie, that says it all.
Yeah, it does. There's a lot you can say about him as a player. Like I said before, he's a hustler. He plays hard, and he's very smart. He's a very intelligent ball player.
What do you have to do in this league to have a chance to win a championship? Where does this team have to be able to make a real run at winning a championship?
Well, I'm a firm believer in pitching and defense, and don't give away runs. I think if this team does that, case in point right there. If this team does that, they have a good chance. I'm a firm believer in great defense and good pitching.
And we're going to take another look at how this one falls in. It looked like Salazzo was tracking it foul. And Dean, when you came up, you said the wind was kind of pushing towards that way. Maybe that helped keep it fair territory.
Yeah, it might have. That's a tough play. You got three guys converging on it.
Plus you got that light bank right in your eyes here.
Somebody's got to take charge and make that play. That was a tough one for Salazzo.
Yeah.
How great is it on a nightly, weekly basis to see not just what the Cardinals are doing, but to see the stars from around the IBL, guys that have meant so much to this league, like a Jonathan Salazzo, roll into this park now in front of just the giant crowds that are coming through the gates.
Well, you know, John Salazzo played for Hamilton years back, and he knows what it was like when there was 50 people in the stands, moms and dads, you know. So for other teams to come in and see what's going on here is tremendous. And I've said it before, it's so uplifting when you go on the field and you look up in the stands and you see the support, regardless of the team you're on, if you're the visiting team or the home team, it just makes you want to play.
I've done Cardinals games in a number of years, kind of in and out with Cable 14. There was never really that real partnership until Eric spearheaded it last year. But from seeing it in years past to where it was last season now to this season, it's a different world. This ballpark is jammed up on a nightly or daily on the weekend basis to watch this team play, and it makes a huge difference.
Well, you know, and the thing is how fast it took. It didn't take long.
Yep.
You know, other owners, you know, God bless them and stuff like that, they kept the team in Hamilton and they did what they could, but the exposure and what Eric has done is almost miracle-like.
Eric really understood the value of social media in terms of promoting this team and getting it out locally. It's something that people in Hamilton have taken on as it's our team. This is our group. As Luis Bernardo goes down on strikes, Dean Castelli, thanks again for joining us. So we really appreciate it.
Guys, always a pleasure anytime.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll be back with more Mitsubishi Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14. Welcome back to Mountain Mitsubishi Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14. Drew Mainprize in to take over Neil in the top of the sixth for the Cardinals.
Drew Mainprize will pick up the ball from Brett Lawson, who throws 108 pitches through 5 innings. 6 strikeouts for the big guy. Does allow 3 runs.
Another just really solid performance from Brett Lawson.
Exactly. Anytime your starting pitcher can give you 5 innings pitched and only allow 3 runs, that's a pretty good odd. You're got a good chance you're going to win a ball game.
That's exactly it. And the Cardinals offense has responded 4 different times tonight. It's been 3-run innings for the Cardinals. As Mainprize delivers, and that one runs high. 2-1 the count.
Maple Leafs 3 runs, 9 hits, 5 errors so far. Cardinals 12 runs on 15 hits. They've committed 1 error.
As Mainprize delivers and gets Cabral swinging through for strike 2.
Apologize for the fans at home looking for point streak updates. I am hearing there that there's some server error issues, some Cloudflare issues. Point streak is aware of it. So is the league. They're working their way through it, trying to fix it as fast as they can. If they have to go give some hamsters some CPR, they will do so.
Being told from Nate behind us that it works on the mobile phone,
Yeah.
but not on the website on a browser.
Yeah, I thought it was my computer's. Like, it's been going on for a couple of days, and it's just driving me up the wall.
Well, I'm glad for the same thing because I was looking at it on mine and I wasn't getting anything either.
I was like going, is it my computer? I just reformatted this thing last week.
Ooh. Yeah, that's the last thing you'd want is something going wrong with it. As Drew Mainprize is going to ring up Cabral.
7 strikeouts on the night for the Cardinals pitching staff. Another $3 from our friends at Little Caesars going to Mission Services.
As Jose Vinicio will step in.
Again, thanks to our partners, Little Caesars, for agreeing to do this promotion all year long.
And for feeding our crew here on
Exactly.
Cable 14.
Oh, yeah, I keep forgetting you guys get pizza down there before we come in. I gotta have to stop in and say hi.
Absolutely. As Vinicio fouls that one back.
Although I'm usually not a big guy to eat before us. Bernardo just gave Benicio a nice little shove out of the way. It's all good and fun, guys. But
Yeah, I would imagine there's something to that down there. But
Yeah.
then
Yeah, there
Vinicio
is.
pokes the helmet away.
oh, they're just having fun.
The grin by Bernardo told the story on the end.
And Benicio's got the big smile on his face right now at the plate.
You like to see that even
Yeah.
in a game that's gotten a little bit away from the Maple Leafs. They had to know coming in tonight it was going to be a big lift.
Oh, exactly.
As they do have a pitcher warming up.
Yeah. Although all through my day today, I was just like, oh, I hope the Cardinals don't come out flat after last night, riding that big high, that big win. And thankfully, they didn't disappoint. They came back out here riding that hot streak through the first couple innings, scoring in bunches. A lot of threes up on that scoreboard.
4 threes in 5 innings. As Vinicio taps this one on the ground. Marriott has it, shovels it to Rempel, and that's 2 away.
Drew Mainprize doing the job so far. Once again.
We saw Drew Mainprize last season for the Cardinals, and he struggled in his first run of extended IBL game play, and he has come back, Neil, and we said this in the preseason, he looks like a different pitcher.
Different pitcher, and I think he just wants to be here, probably wants to be part of the guys. He, unfortunately, was one of the numbers games at the signing deadline day, and he wound up with the Guelph Royals the next day.
Yeah, back with the Cardinals, and there is a confidence to Drew Mainprize that he didn't have last year, and that it only comes with the experience.
Yep, well, exactly. So
he
far
knows he's got great stuff.
He knows it. It's just a matter he's just got to be able to give him the opportunity to do so.
As Castaldo will fall behind 0-2 as he skies a foul ball.
And I think he's one of these guys, he's willing to accept this role in the situation. The team's up by a lot. Well, manager's going to give me the baseball for an inning here. I'm just going to go make the best of it.
Got to get some work in somewhere.
Yeah.
especially in a weekend in which you have 4 games.
Well, exactly. I would not be surprised to see him back on the bump at some point either tomorrow or Sunday.
So that'll be an interesting question for Chris Piano and company.
Yeah.
How do they decide to manage the pitching situation? Is it going to be a lot of guys getting 1 inning along the way, or are they going to put the ball in the hand of somebody for
A couple.
multiple innings?
I guess it really depends on what's going on here. Like, doesn't look like anybody's warming up again right now.
That's Castaldo on the ground. Quick hop. Marriott deadens. DeRempel. And Drew Mainprice, just like that, quickly through the top of the 6th inning. Cardinals have the bats in their hands once again when we return to Mountain Mitsubishi. Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. It's Mountain Mitsubishi, Hamilton Cardinals, Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14. Cardinals with a 12-3 lead. Hey, producer Brendan, he's still hanging around.
He's still hanging around. We got a new pitcher on the hill for the Maple Leafs. It's Chris Nagorski. The guy I traded 6 hours onto the job as the general manager of the Guelph Royals.
Wait, come again?
Yeah. So I took over in 2013 as the general manager for the Guelph Royals after Dave Tabokers was let go midway through the season. And my first task was to trade Chris Nagorski.
Why was that your first?
Because Chris wanted out. Unfortunately, he came over to be part of Tebow's team and he knew Tebow from everything else. And then when Tebow was no longer there, a bunch of veterans decided they wanted to come out. Nagorski was one of them. Sean Riley was another one. That was a nightmare after the fact, just because it was a rough first week on the job. Put it that way.
So you just got thrown right into the
Yeah.
frying pan. Is what
Yeah.
happened.
It was just like, because I asked, what can I do to help in this situation? And it's like, well, why don't you become the general manager? I'm like, okay.
What, did everyone else just leave the building?
No, it's just, again, because Jim Rooney and I had that great relationship. Like, we would send car rides and whatever else. He would always pick my brain on things, and he thought I was the right man for the job at the time. And, well,
I can't argue with that estimation.
No. That was my second go as general manager, so that was fun. My first one was when I was 21 years old.
That's the Gord Stellick play.
Yeah. 21, I felt overwhelmed. 35, I felt a little more able to handle it. But
fair enough. As DeBanning will shoot this one down the line, and it's going to be just foul in right field.
I've never actually talked to Chris Nagorski.
Really?
Really?
So you traded him, but you've never actually been able to have a
because
conversation with him.
Jim handled he had all the calls and everything else. It's okay. You're sending this guy to Barrie for this is what we're going to get a decent return back. And from I got a couple, I think C.J. Farron and somebody else that pitched for us 1 inning in Barrie the next night, and then never saw him again. So yeah, that went out really well.
Tough go.
Tough go. And then by the end of the week, I had to trade Sean Riley away.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fun.
No. So he went to the Leafs. We got a catcher. We got a pitcher. We got another pitcher that never saw the light of day in the Royal City, unfortunately. So that was not a fun week.
I got to imagine that is a really tough spot to be in.
It was. And it's just because, especially when I had the relationship with a lot of those players that were veteran in that locker room, it's just like, okay, yeah, I've got to now either let you go or let you go do something else. And it was just like, that was the one thing I always hated about that job, is just because I knew these guys so well off the field. It's like, yeah, it's not working out. We're releasing you. It's just, I felt so heartless about it.
Yeah, that can't be a fun feeling. As Nagorski induced DeBanning to ground out Vinicio over to Johnson at first base. So was it both times you were in as the GM in Guelph?
Yep.
Okay.
That was 1998 the first time.
And Josh Niles just got victimized by a ball that had some serious sidewinder to it.
That was a pull shot.
He couldn't do that again if he tried.
No. Niles is going to go back to the box and go, wow, I just got ripped off.
He sure did. As Nagorski, credit to him, was there to figure it out and ran it right down.
Now, the first goal was with Larry Pearson as the owner. Of course, Larry Pearson's son, Sean, played for the Blue Jays farm team and everything else. Pearson was a former Guelph Royal, Guelph Seajoy, and everything else. He loved owning the team just so he could mow the lawns. He was the CEO of Linamar. He just had retired. He would call me in the mornings. He got out mowing the lawn at Hastings Stadium.
Somebody obviously told him to get a hobby, and he did.
Yeah, he got a hobby, all right. That was fun.
That's great.
Now, the first time through as GM, I lasted it 1 year, and it was just like I told Larry, it's just too much for me at this age.
No, I mean, that's a fair point. I can't imagine taking on that role at that age.
No.
Of any team.
Well, you deal with Jack Dominico, you deal with Max Roche and Kitchener, you deal with some other guys that were just like Art and Edie in London at the time too. It's just like they're not going to take this kid seriously.
What am I doing here?
Yeah.
As Rempel flares this one high, Johnson underneath, and it's 3 away. As very quickly the Cards go down, Chris Nagorski, not traded this time by Neil.
Nope.
And we will return with the Cardinals back to the field on Mountain Mitsubishi. Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. It's Mountain Mitsubishi, Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14. Neil took the thunder earlier on for this one, but Little Caesars has provided the crew meals for Cable 14 as well as that great promotion on strikeouts with 8 locations around the greater Hamilton area. You can't go wrong with Little Caesars. In fact, that could be a stop on my way home tonight.
I think that we might be doing the same thing. Don't say that too loud to Jenny because she'll be making the order right now.
There's actually one. It's very dangerous. There's one right across the street from my office.
Oh, that's deadly.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's always hot and ready, stocked.
Yeah.
So that's a quick little jog. I get the steps in, though, because I jog over for lunch, get
Well,
the
that's
pizza, jog back.
All right. Do you add the crazy bread or no?
You got to add the crazy bread. I mean, as much as I don't want to admit that on the air, you got to
You got to add the crazy bread.
You got to have the crazy bread. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm just stuffing myself.
No.
But as Jonathan Salazzo will step in, crazy bread, crazy sauce. I've got those puffs now. It's like the crazy bread but a puff, and it's got the pepperoni pizza in the puff.
Oh, man. Okay, yeah, we're going to be stopping on the way home.
It's really good. As Main Prize delivers, and that one.
I'm just making sure I'm not in earshot when I said that.
I was kind of looking just to check.
I think we're safe. So I think she's down beside you on that side.
Oh,
so
okay.
You can't see.
All right. Yeah, the door to my right is closed, so
Yeah.
we're okay.
Well, tomorrow we'll definitely have to make it a stop because we have 18 innings of baseball on the schedule.
Yeah, how are you going to pull that one off?
Yeah, I'm worried about that. I'm seriously worried about that. It's like,
the timing on that could be
it's gonna
dangerous.
it's gonna be. Kitchener and Guelph have 2.5 hours to finish that ball game. I'm sorry, that's it.
And how long is your drive in between?
45. On a good day on traffic, but the PGA Tour thing's going on here too, so it's gonna be probably a 6:30, 7 o'clock kind of showing up there Hamilton tomorrow night. I'm not looking forward to that because it just throws me off my routine.
Just a little bit, as Salazzo through the infield.
Because normally the Cardinals play on a Sunday, so it's not a big deal. But it's a Saturday night. It's the one Saturday night because it's retro night, and we're going back to the Hamilton Redbirds tomorrow night.
Yeah, with the really nice-looking jerseys. Salazzo on with the single. Yeah, that Redbirds logo right in the center. It's the old pullover.
Yep, the V-neck.
Yep.
We may have to take one of those home.
I was thinking about that too, actually.
We know a guy. Maybe he can pull off some strings.
Well, that's true. We know a few guys around here.
Yes. Maybe we can task Troy to go grab them now, so we don't have to worry about tomorrow.
before anything gets sold out.
Yes.
Because that's one of the things that I know from being involved in theme jerseys.
Yeah.
If you open them up, they will sell out.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to put a bug in Eric's ear for next year for a Star Wars night because I would love to get a Star Wars jersey.
Oh, that would be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Do we get to bring lightsabers up into the booth?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Had to check. I think I still have them at my parents' house, actually. Probably from the Phantom Menace era.
Oh, yes. We have quite a few of those KFC Pizza Hut cup toppers from that.
Yes.
collection.
Yes. I remember those.
Those things were heavy.
They were. They were far too heavy.
Yeah. Don't want to drop one of those things on your feet in the middle of the night. That's one of those things you don't want to do.
Yeah, that'll induce a yelp.
Mm-hmm.
As Main Prize delivers, Maud swings this into right field. DeBanning has to take it on the hop. So that'll be Salazzo up to second, Maud to first, back-to-back singles.
Well, good. Lachlan Maud with his second single of the night to go with 2 strikeouts. Salazzo up to second, as you mentioned. And Ryan DeSantos has got all three RBIs in the contest for the Maple Leafs. Will be the batter now. Pair of singles and 3 RBIs and a ground out 4-3 on DeSantos' score sheet so far.
And DeSantos will look at that one.
There is some activity in the Cardinals bullpen, so it looks like Main Prize tonight will be done after this inning.
Yeah, I couldn't quite pick up who that was out there.
I think that's the other thing we have to put in Eric's head. Is, okay, we got to switch these bullpens around so guys are facing us.
They're back to us. I think that's Nick Davies warming up.
I think you're right.
As Main Prize delivers.
Davies, a card-carrying member of the Tyler Duncan Mustache Club.
That's right. He's got everybody started. Colby Ring's got one going.
Yep.
I mean, I've been growing the playoff beard since 22, so it's. As Main Prize delivers, my wife said to me, "You're out. Why do you keep growing the?" I'm just getting a head start for next year.
Next year, yeah. It's like the chia pet; it just keeps growing.
Well, and then I use the other excuses, right? Well, wait a minute. Are you growing for the Bulldogs or the Bruins? Who's still playing?
Neither.
So now it's next year.
Next year, yeah.
Over the plate, Main Price to Dos Santos. I got a number of ways to get out of this.
Yeah. My kids have never seen me grow a mustache. They probably never will. There's only one picture of me with a beard and a mustache. That was in high school because I had to grow it because of the volleyball team I was coaching.
It's Dos Santos.
We went undefeated that season. I wasn't allowed to shave till we lost. Believe me, once we got knocked out in Kawasa, it was gone. So was all my hair because they shaved my head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That seems extensive.
Looks like Main Prize is getting a pat on the shoulder here from Chris Piano. And actually, no, it's not Chris Piano.
Yeah, I can't quite tell who that is out at the mound. Someone that's been tabbed anyway to go and have the conversation.
Yep. It's kind of a jovial conversation. It wasn't really too serious. Maybe they're just telling jokes.
And, well, it looks like they're going to let Main Prize go after this in a bases-loaded spot.
I don't think anybody on this team is getting married tomorrow, so they don't have to figure out dish patterns or anything like that from like a la Bull Durham out here, but that's okay.
Oh, I remember those days and figuring out all the stuff for a wedding. And
Yeah.
yeah, I only commented when I was asked.
That was probably the smartest decision you could have made.
Yeah, otherwise I tried to stay out of the way.
Yep.
And if she asked my opinion, it looks great.
Yep.
Looks whatever it is.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Doesn't even matter. It's
Just how much is this going to cost?
as Johnson will swing this into left field. Cut down by Daly, and it's going to score a pair for the Maple Leafs as Salazzo and Maud will come all the way around.
Johnson with the 2 RBI single. It's now a 12-5 ball game.
The Leafs draw a couple back.
DeSantos stops at second base. Salazzo and Maud come in to score.
And Lewis the man up.
Lewis is 1 for 3 in the contest. Made everybody happy with his strikeout in the second inning.
That's right. And Drew Main Prize here just needs something positive here. A ground ball at Marriott or Duncan would really do the trick. Nobody away just yet in the top of the inning. And Lewis is going to shoot that one back into the mesh. 0-2 the count. No, we're getting I believe there's a 1-1 signal.
Yeah. Guess that first one missed high then.
As Main Prize will wind and deliver, and that one's going to run low. 2-1 is what we're being given by the ump. As Main Prize will look in at Lewis. Delivers the 2-1, gets Lewis swinging, 2-2. And I think some of the fans believe that was the strikeout, but
As did the scoreboard operator and some of the.
we got to switch it around.
Yep, now we're okay. Now it's 2-2.
Yeah, I'm like the guys up here. I thought that the first 2 pitches were strikes. I don't know if maybe our home plate umpire might have got a little bit confused. I thought he gave a signal on the first one for a
I
strike.
thought it was a strike too, so maybe he was just pointing it was where it was low or something. Who knows?
Yeah, it's possible he was giving some sort of communication to Drew Main Prize.
Main Prize is bearing down again. Looks for the sign for Bernardo.
Lewis tees this one into left, and it's going to be over the head of Daly. He's going to score at least one. Johnson on his horse coming around, and he'll have the brakes thrown on at third. Lewis with an RBI double.
Julian Johnson stops at third. Lewis at second. And Ryan DeSantos comes home to score.
So 3 runs have crossed in the inning, and nobody out in it.
And that is going to do it for Drew Main Prize.
Yeah,
As Chris Piano comes out for the baseball.
Main Prize will come out of the ball game. And Main Prize, who worked very efficiently through his first inning of work, it just seemed like had everything kind of go against him here in his second inning, as Nick Davies will come in to take over.
Now on the mound for your Cardinals, number 10, Nick Davies.
Nick Davies so far just the 1 appearance, 1 innings pitched, allowed 1 hit, a walk. And that's how we got so far. He's got no ERA so far, but Main Prize came in the action tonight with no ERA as well, but now he was now through 3 appearances for Main Prize. 4 1/3 of an innings pitched. Actually, no, sorry, just 4 innings pitched. Didn't get an out in this inning.
No, was not able to record one, unfortunately for Main Prize, who again came into this ball game and looked fantastic. And then in this inning, it's been single, single, walk, single, single.
Yeah.
So it's double for
Double, yeah.
Lewis. So single, single, walk, single, double. So only the one extra base hit given up by Main Prize, but the singles added up. And it was the walk to Dos Santos that was the third one that came around to burn him. As Davies will face Charlie Towers. And the Cardinals have seen what was a 12-3 lead coming into the inning.
Cut in half in a hurry here.
Yeah. And the Leafs starting to make a little bit of noise. Still 2 on with nobody out.
Don't poke the bear, or don't poke the maple leaf in this case.
As Davies has the look in. And Davies will wind and deliver, and that one, looked like he slipped on the way down.
Yep.
Ball 1.
Yeah, he's definitely looking at his footwork here now. Again, just trying to find a good landing spot to tow the rubber from.
Davies gets that one and low. Ball 2.
Out-of-town scoreboard, unless that score is incorrect, it is now 9-2 for the Majors over the Brantford Red Sox. I don't have the inning, though.
Let me see if I can help you out here momentarily. And Davies, I'm not sure where that one missed, but 3-0. I've got bottom of 5th, 9-2.
Wow, that game's going along at a snail's pace as well.
Yep. We're in the top of the 7th. The Cardinals searching for an out, and now Charlie Towers is going to take the 4-pitch walk. And the bases are loaded with Jamie Cabral coming up.
Cabral's got a pair of hits on the contest and a strikeout.
And this is a spot where the Cardinals need something. You would very happily trade a run if you could get the double play ball.
Indeed you would.
As this starts to get a little bit precarious here, Neil, as Cabral sends it back. Cabral would represent what would be a 10th run if he were to get on base and come around to score.
Yep.
Especially in a spot where there's nobody out in the inning.
And the Maple Leafs already do have one pretty big comeback in this season already. They came back to beat the Panthers a couple Wednesdays ago.
1-1 is the count.
Winning run did come home on a wild pitch in that contest, but I think they were down 7-1 at one point in that game.
Davies runs that one inside, 2-1. And there is now a lot more action beginning down in the Cardinals bullpen.
Yep.
As Davies will have the look into Bernardo. Davies delivers, gets Cabral swinging, 2-2.
This is a huge out here for Davies and company. You got Vinicio Castaldo and Salazzo due up after this batter. 2 of those 3 are known to hit home runs. The other one just can run really fast.
Yeah, none of which you want right now, and Davies runs that inside on Cabral, and that's going to bring home a run on the hit by pitch. So Johnson will come home. Lewis goes to third. Towers to second. Cabral to first. And it's 12-7.
That's such a cushy lead now down to 5.
Yeah, 9-5, and it happened in a hurry.
Yep.
As Davies has the look in with the bases loaded. And still no one out. He'll start Vinicio off with a strike. Same spot for the Cardinals. You'd be happy to trade a run for the double play, but it's Vinicio, so doubling it would be difficult.
You'd almost have to get it to the third baseman or something and keep it away from the first base side.
And the throwback gets into the dirt as Bernardo tried to catch Lewis off third base. Niles able to quickly
Knock
get
it
back
down
onto it.
anyways.
Yeah, just watching some of the action down in the Cardinals bullpen, and I think Stefan Strecker is going to start to get loose.
We weren't expecting to see him tonight, that's for sure.
No, we weren't.
He made the road trip last weekend to Chatham-Kent. And wound up pitching.
Davies runs that one inside, 2-1.
He pitched here Friday night, pitched there Saturday. And was on the bench in London Sunday afternoon when I was down there.
I'm assuming they stayed in London.
Yeah.
Yeah. As Davies in the 2-1 count. Delivering to Vinicio, runs it high and inside, 3-1. And there's some fans starting to get a little bit restless in the crowd here.
Yep.
As the Cardinals just haven't been able to get anything going in this top of 7. 4 runs have come across, and it's going to be 5 as Davies walks Vinicio. 12-8 now. And it's the hit by pitch to Cabral moving up to second. Towers over to third as Lewis scores.
Davies just doesn't look comfortable on this mound.
No, he hasn't looked comfortable since he came in. And yeah, that action in the bullpen is really speeding up.
Yep.
And I think Stefan Strecker might be giving a signal that there could be a pitcher ready down there. Looks like it's Corbin Peters that's warming.
Peters will face Castaldo or Salazzo here, because Jordan Castaldo is coming up with the bases loaded.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to, if he's coming in, he's going to face Salazzo. And I'm not sure if this is a spot where they wanted to have to use Corbin Peters.
No, I don't think so either. He did pitch an inning in London on the weekend, though.
As Davies delivers, gets Castaldo staring at the strike.
Of course, in that school game down in Welland, Peters was on the mound. He had to leave the ball game after, I'm not sure what exactly. He extended something, but something around the elbow area. Very scary moment on the hill, that's for sure.
I remember you saying that, and of course we saw that here last year.
Yep. And that was immediately what I thought about, too. It was just it was a Dario Alvarez right all over again.
Scary, scary moment. As the count to 1-1 with Davies missing outside. Davies with the look in. Gets the outside edge, 1-2.
That froze Castaldo. He's still looking at his feet there and going, okay, could I hit that?
Salazzo followed by Mott. It was Salazzo who led off this inning. As Davies has the look. He'll deliver, and he got Castaldo staring.
Huge out there. As Castaldo goes down looking. Cardinals not out of the woods yet, though, as Salazzo comes to bat now.
No, I don't think this is any better if you're the Cardinals.
Is there the lesser of two evils in this situation? You got Castaldo, but now you got to deal with Salazzo, who looks like he's ready to unload into one any time now.
And what a spot. When Salazzo opened this inning, it was a 9-run gap. It's now down to 4. Davies is going to be down to 3 as Davies misses wild. And it's Towers around to score. Jonathan Salazzo represents the tying run.
Yep. It's the Cardinals last night with the big inning. Now it's the Toronto Maple Leafs doing it to the Cardinals.
The 1-0 being delivered from Davies. And he'll get Salazzo looking at it, 1-on-1. Cardinals need out of this spot in the worst way.
Salazzo having words with the plate umpire.
Davies delivers. Salazzo will foul this one back. Well, I hope that wasn't yours.
We're way over where we usually park. So
Very good.
We're good. Yeah, I don't have to explain that one tomorrow morning. That's the last thing I need tomorrow.
Davies will deliver, and Salazzo taps it back. Stays 1-2. Yeah, that's never a fun conversation I have. Something with your car is not the easiest one, no.
It's definitely getting a lot of miles put on it this summer.
Davies winds, delivers, and that one low.
Trying to get Salazzo to chase something on the other half low.
2-2 the count. As Davies will have the look in again. Behind Salazzo is Lachlan Maud, who had a single in this inning. Eventually came around to score. Oh, Davies got Salazzo swinging, 2 away. That was huge.
There is another Little Caesars strikeout for Hunger.
That'll be it for Nick Davies. He got the 2 strikeouts he needed. As they'll switch him around here.
And I believe it's going to be Corbin Peters who's going to come out of the bullpen to face Lachlan Maud. How about that for Nick Davies? Some struggles to get through, but back-to-back Ks on Castaldo and Salazzo.
The inning didn't start too well for him against Charlie Towers. He walked him, and then he hit Cabral. Then walked Vinicio, and then struck out Castaldo looking and got Salazzo to swing here to get 2 outs. And Corbin Peters will come on the hill here, wanting that baseball to get the last out here and get the Cardinals back on the bats here to keep that 3-run lead.
Cardinals might need a little bit of insurance. As Corbin Peters will make his way in, and we really saw Corbin Peters become a big piece for this team last season.
Oh, exactly. That playoff game, that complete game he went in Game 2.
What a performance.
Yeah.
Absolute brilliance from Corbin Peters.
And they tried to bounce back for Game 4, and unfortunately just not able to do so.
As Peters warming in with Luis Bernardo, and these two know each other well. And as you said, Neil, great to see that the injury to Peters at the very beginning, before the season started, does not carry on long term. The Cardinals have his services. As Nick Davies goes 2/3 of an inning, he got the 2 big strikeouts. 3 runs came across. As Corbin Peters tasked with Lachlan Maud in the 2-out spot, and you got to wonder if Peters is able to get Maud here, will we see Peters carry us from the 8th inning to hopefully Stefan Strecker in the 9th?
I would think so, but there is somebody else down there that's not Strecker. I think Strecker still got the hoodie on down there.
Interesting, you're right. Is that Cade Kozak maybe warming?
Kozak might be the next logical one.
Haven't seen Lanigan get loose. You look at the back end of that bullpen for the Cardinals, though, Neil. If you're running Peters, Lanigan, and Strecker, you're in pretty good shape.
Maud fouls off the first one here, too.
And the Cardinals have been using Mitsuki Akatsuka as a
stopgap almost.
Yeah, it's really a bullpen arm.
Yep.
I think, I'm not sure about you, but I thought coming in he was going to be a starter.
I thought so too, but it's just unfortunately how it's worked out so far, but maybe with the 4 games on the weekend, you might see him get the start on Sunday.
Although I thought coming in it was actually going to be the reverse. Takaki Iguchi has started twice and looked great.
Yep.
I actually thought he was going to be the bullpen arm.
Yeah, so did I. I mean, it was just it kind of switched around.
Well, you might have ended up in, if not just as good of a situation, even better one when you look at it in totality. As Peters delivers a little bit high, 2-1.
Had a great battle last night, Iguchi did, in the 5th inning. Get that huge strikeout to keep the bases loaded when the Baycats were only down 3-1.
Iguchi pitches with no fear.
No.
As Peters has to look in at Maud. And Maud fouls it back, strike 2.
Temperature definitely dropped in a hurry as soon as that sun went down. Not as bad as it was Wednesday night, though. Jeez, that was cold.
It was freezing on Wednesday night.
I was at the Silver Creeks game calling the Junior Panthers in Silver Creeks, and I was just like, I had the sweatshirt on. I was like going, I should have brought the winter coat.
I was just doing garbages on Wednesday night, and I was wearing a hoodie, and I was still frozen.
That was a long ball game.
Yeah, what was the final count on that?
10-6. But apparently that game got overturned in a protest, actually, and the Silver Creeks wound up winning it 7-0.
And it's Corbin Peters. Rockets it past Lachlan Maud. Cardinals out of the trouble, but the Maple Leafs score 6th in the top of the 7th. Cardinals bats in their hands when we return to Mountain Mitsubishi Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. Welcome back to Mountain Mitsubishi Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14, and Brandon Latter is going to come into the ball game in place of Keeler Loveridge.
Keeler Loveridge with a pair of singles in the contest, 2 runs scored and a strikeout before being replaced here. Brandon Latter gets a chance to show what he's got here in the DH role.
As Keeler Loveridge, who I believe, as you were saying earlier on, Neil, is
slated to go to the bullpen.
Yeah, he's going to be a pitcher after starting out
as an infielder.
Yeah. Saw this last year with Schauffele, who came in and played a little bit of both before ending up, I believe, with Guelph by the end of the season.
Actually, it was London. He went to London.
London.
After he was,
That's right. That's right. As Nagorski serves that one up to Latter, who sends it into center field, and the Cardinals have their leadoff man aboard.
16th hit in the contest, as we're told by our friend Nate behind us here for the Cardinals.
16th hit. Goodness.
Brendan Daly now the batter. Got a sacrifice and a single, and a stolen base and a run scored.
Yeah, Daly's been involved in a couple of the run-scoring innings for the Cardinals.
Takes strike one low at the knees.
He began the rally in the 4th and was part of it in the 5th.
Yep. And had a sac bunt in the 2nd inning to move that first runner over.
As Nagorski delivers, and it's 0-2. Maple Leafs love to get the bats back in their hands real quick here after putting up a 6 spot.
Yep.
Cardinals have had 4 innings in which they have scored 3 runs in the ball game, but the Leafs have the biggest inning of the game.
With that 6th spot in the top half of this frame.
Oh, boy. Daly took that one heavy.
Ugh. I think he's okay, but maybe not.
And Nagorski, I don't think, is happy with himself.
No.
Just at the moment.
Uh-oh, he's having some problems here.
As Brandon Daly is really stinging just at the moment, and he may have to come out of this ball game.
I think he's going to have to.
Oh,
right
boy.
off the face. In the mouth area.
Yeah, Daly bleeding from the mouth as he gets hit by the pitch, and
that one just slipped out of the hands of Nagorski. This was not intentional whatsoever.
No.
You can see Nagorski's kind of shooken up by it right now, too.
Yeah, goodness, no. That there was nothing even close to intent there. Nagorski let that go, and you could see it kind of roll out of his hand, Neil, and it just ran inside.
Yep.
But Daly is
looks like he's just trying to rinse his mouth out now.
boy. That is that's a tough kid right there.
Yep.
And I'm not entirely certain of who the Cardinals have available that could step in, or if they would have to do some maneuvering if Daly can't continue, but he's up on his feet.
He wants to stick in this one anyways, or at least walk off the field here.
And Daly is going to get the helmet.
Kid's a gamer.
Wow. He's going to stay in this ball game as he'll head down to first. And, yeah, Chris Nagorski walked right over to, I think, apologize for that one running inside. I can't believe he's staying in the game, Neil.
Well.
As Brandon Nicholson will continue along with Ladder at second. And now Daly over at first base somehow.
Yep.
As Brandon Nicholson stepping in. And Nicholson threatening the bunt. And that one will explode back into the screen.
You saw Julian Johnston charging hard from the first base side, anticipating that bunt.
Well, depending on where he puts it, Nicholson's one of the guys in the IBL who can beat out a bunt.
Easily.
Maple Leafs have one on the other side, too, in Jose Vinicio. Nagorski has to look back towards Brandon Ladder at second, and looked like he wanted to maybe test him there, but didn't have anybody home. He had both Towers and Vinicio.
Well, Vinicio's having to cheat a little bit more that side. And the second baseman is trying to charge in case Nicholson squares around the bunt again, because he's going to have to cover first base.
As Nagorski will look to deliver. Nicholson sets down the bunt, gets it on the ground. Flip is over to first and pulled him off the bag. Nicholson safe.
That'll be likely an E1 charged on Nagorski on that throw that took the second baseman off the bag. But that's a tough play for a second baseman because you got to locate the baseball, find your footing on the base, but you're not used to getting at that base.
And Zach Marriott will step in with nobody out and the base is loaded in a 12-9 ball game.
Marriott's already got 3 RBIs. What's another 4?
What a wild game this has been. As Nagorski.
You didn't hear that, right, Zach?
Nagorski will deliver, and Marriott, I think he did.
I think he did hear that one.
He tried to send that to a different area code.
I swear they hear me sometimes. And there's usually a crowd in front of me, so I don't know how they hear me.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It's not like we're overly close.
No. It's not like we're standing in the front row saying you need to swing harder.
As Nagorski now in a little bit of trouble. As Marriott, boy, he is swinging to hammer a baseball right now.
That one was in off the hands almost.
So it was Ladder who started at pinch hitting with the single. Daly hit by the pitch. An error on Nicholson as he laid down the bunt.
Yep.
And suddenly, it's the Cardinals threatening with the bases loaded and nobody out. Although 2 strikes to Nicholson, he reaches out. Ball was dropped.
Marriott's down on strikes for the first out.
Yeah, Nicholson goes down. Pardon me, Marriott goes down.
Now it's the Maple Leafs not out of the woods here as they've got Tyler Duncan coming to the plate.
And these are the spots which Tyler Duncan has really made a mark.
Duncan's already got 6 RBIs on the week, and Sam Green's coming out to have a conversation with the pitcher now. There is activity down in the Maple Leafs bullpen, but nobody's actually throwing yet. Somebody's against the fence stretching. Somebody else looks like they're stretching down the line there, too.
Well, I think whoever it was just finished his warm-up because
Nagorski's coming out of the ball game.
So let's take another look back as the Maple Leafs make the exchange. This is the ball that hit Brendan Daly. And
off the hand and into the face.
Yeah, from the wrist up to his mouth. And I was wondering, Neil, about how that got to his mouth because
I didn't think it got him up. I thought it was maybe the chest or something, but yeah, it was right off his hands. Ouch.
Yeah, that had to sting.
Like you're bracing yourself for impact off the hands. That's fine. But then it bounces up and gets you in the face. It's just, you can't even prepare yourself for that one.
No, and that's, I think, why there was as much damage done to.
And that's what he's showing the umpire right now is went off my hand. He's got a little bit of a busted up lip here. You can see, you can see the busted lip too. He might have to have some stitches tonight or at least an ice pack or something. He's out there talking it with Jeff Rose. And Charlie Towers at second base.
And it looks like it's Greg Carrington who's come in.
Like I said, you're going to see a pitch. You're going to see an outfielder or somebody, a position player, come out to throw some pitches here because Old Mother Hubbard's cupboards are bare.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much else down there now for the Maple Leafs.
No.
As we said coming in, it was going to be a test for the Maple Leafs, and now this ball game has just been downright wacky. So Nagorski exits, and Carrington is going to be the man charged with going against Tyler Duncan.
Yep, just one away here.
That is a lot of faith in what Carrington, the regular outfielder, can do on the hill. As the Maple Leafs try to avoid anything coming home in this inning.
Yep. Especially when they climb back within 3 runs here. They don't want to suddenly give the Cardinals back at that lead at any point here.
Stefan Strecker is getting loose in the Cardinals bullpen. We saw Corbin Peters come in the top of this inning and get the Cardinals out of the trouble as Carrington runs it in on Duncan, 1-0. Now, was it a mistake last night, Neil? Because I saw that Strecker was credited with the save in the ball game.
I don't think I have to go back and look, but I don't think that was I don't think he came into the ball game. I thought it was somebody else. I thought it was Connor Corey.
Yeah, okay. On the IBL website.
Maybe it was originally, and then they fixed it afterwards. I know they had a different scorer last night because their scorer was off.
Okay. When I checked earlier today, it had Strecker listed as the save as Duncan sends this into center field. Catch made by Lewis, but the sac fly will score Brandon Latter.
7th RBI of the week for Tyler Duncan, and we still got 2 games to go.
That's insane.
But that's a huge insurance run for the Cardinals here in the 7th. And Luis Bernardo will bat with runners at second and first and 2 away now.
So Luis Bernardo with a chance to give the Cardinals a little bit more insurance as they go back up by 4. Carrington delivers. Bernardo sends it into right. That's going to bounce down. And it's a wave around coming home. And Daly is safe. And Bernardo's up to second. Luis Bernardo cashes in with his 3rd RBI of the ball game.
RBI single for Bernardo. Nicholson comes in to score. Sorry, Nicholson's at 3rd now.
Yeah, that was Daly who came home.
Yep.
So after getting bloodied up, Brendan Daly.
He got dirtied up even more.
And now has his 2nd run scored of the ball game.
Yep.
14-9. As Carrington delivering to Dennis DeBanning.
And that's a balk called on Carrington. That's going to bring home another run.
And that time it's Brendan Nicholson coming in to score. And once again, it's a 3-run inning for the 5th time tonight for the Cardinals. The symmetry has been something else.
Yep.
Bernardo now up to 3rd with 2 away. Carrington delivers and gets the outside edge.
Yeah, Strucker's got the sweatshirt off now, so he's definitely getting serious out there.
And thanks to you and Nate for the correction in live time. They do have it right now on the IBL website that it was Connor Corey on the save last night. I thought that was weird earlier on because I didn't remember Strecker coming into the ball game.
It's like when I would have clipped something with Strecker yesterday, and I'm like I'm pretty sure it was Connor Corey that finished off the ball game. In pretty convincing fashion in front of the 7 people that stuck around last night in Barrie.
As Carrington will deliver, and DeBanning swings through it, 1-2.
If it wasn't the black flies, it was definitely the cold last night. Nothing to do with the score that sent the Barrie fans home early.
Black flies.
Yes.
Yikes.
They honestly used to hand you off-skin-tastic sample bottles when you walked into the ballpark.
I don't do any flying. I don't do flying bugs.
No.
Oh, Carrington gets DeBanning looking at it, but damage done. The Cardinals cross 3 once again. We are through 7 full innings. We'll head to the top of the 8th. The Maple Leafs back to bat when we return to Mountain Mitsubishi. Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14. Welcome back to Mountain Mitsubishi. Hamilton Cardinals, Friday Night Baseball here on Cable 14. The Cardinals with a 15-9 lead headed to the top of the 8th inning. Corbin Peters' appearance was brief as he'll give way to Cade Kozak for this 8th inning with Stefan Strecker warming in the bullpen behind him.
So I guess the good news and bad news from Brantford is, well, Mark Perry's reporting your printer's broken.
It was already broken.
Okay. So I don't have to listen to you bemoaning that Perry broke your printer and his guest shot there tonight?
Well, it's not so much that it's broken, it's that we don't actually know, unless you have a code thing to make it print, how to print. Like, you can't just Wi-Fi connect to it.
Oh.
We've had beaties in, they can't figure it out.
Okay. Send me a picture of it when you're next to there next
All
time.
right.
I'll see what I can crack on it.
Yeah, actually, I never thought of that. I should have got you on the investigation on that. So Mark's okay. He's doing fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I saw the message that
Okay.
he broke my printer, and I thought, no, you're fine.
All right.
Unless he actually, like,
Physically picked it up and threw it at
yeah,
something?
well, I don't think he's picking that thing up.
No.
That was a multi-person job just to get it up there.
Yeah, I've seen that catwalk up there. So
As Kozak delivers, that one runs high. By the way, our station manager, Jonathan Friedman, the 16 UNT team that he is with, playing in a Niagara tournament, they have finished their game, and they're currently in the keg where they have somehow managed to get our Friday night game up on the Bar TV.
Well, good job on that crew, and hello, guys and gals. Hope everything is well where you guys, and best of luck in the tournament this weekend.
Guys, don't worry. You've only missed everything.
Yep.
5 times tonight, the Cardinals have scored 3 runs in an inning. The last inning, in the top of the 7th, the Maple Leafs put up a 6 spot. It's 15-9. And the Cardinals now working on their 5th pitcher. We had an outfielder pitching for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of 7.
Yep.
I mean, this is one of those ball games that, like, how is this going to end?
I'm glad that's not one of the rules we adopted this year, because in the major leagues, it has to be the 9th inning before a position player can actually come into the pitch.
That's just not fun.
No.
As Kozak delivers, and that one outside, 3-2. So the spot Cade Kozak got himself into a couple of times last week against Barrie, where he would get to 2 strikes, and he's just got to trust his stuff, Neil.
Yep.
And trust his catcher in Luis Bernardo.
He's just got to know that Luis Bernardo is not going to let him down here. He's not going to try to steer him wrong here.
Ryan Dos Santos, he'll take the walk.
That one looked like he was just trying to overthrow it and try to blast it past Dos Santos rather than making him hit the baseball.
And that will bring up the first baseman, Julian Johnson. Oh, I believe we have a pinch hitter. So the Maple Leafs making some roster moves as we get deep into this ball game. As Kozak delivers strike 1. And I'm doing my best, Neil, here to find a 22.
I think it's Dionysus Chilatis. Chiatis?
Dionysus Chialtis.
Yes, that guy.
As Kozak will have the look in. And
I did send you the pronunciation guide, and I forgot to print it off tonight.
Chialtis will have the look at it.
My apologies, Dionysus.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Greek.
Yes, I would sure hope so. Although people think I'm Greek, so that's beside the point.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't get that out of your name.
No.
As Kozak works to 1-2.
A former girlfriend's sister. So what are you, Greek, Italian, what? I'm like, do I look either of those? You met my father.
Oh, that's a good one. Delivery from Kozak. Oh, he wanted that one. Won't get it. 2-2.
Never a dull moment here at Burning Arbor, that's for sure.
So How did you end up explaining it?
It's just like, well, you pronounce the V's as W's, and it's from India. You met my father. I was a lot darker as a kid.
Kozak delivers, and there's the strikeout on Dionysus Chialtis.
Strikeout for Hooker. Stepping up to the plate, the center fielder.
As
number 4,
Connor Lewis will step
also
in.
tonight for your batter.
Lewis 2 for 4, a double, a single, a strikeout, and a pop-up to the first baseman.
And he has Rando Santos over at first. How much do you think Cade Kozak would love a ground ball at one of his middle infielders right here?
It would do wonders for his confidence.
Swinging strike. And that was the thing that you and I talked about last week with Kozak. Neil. He's clearly got the stuff. He's got swing and miss kind of stuff.
He does. It's just got to.
It just felt like he didn't trust it.
No. He would get up 0-2 and just find ways to let people back in the ball game. Or their bats, anyways.
Lewis tees it into left field. Over for it, and making the catch is Daly.
Oh, man. Is Daly all right out there? Nicholson had to pick the baseball up to throw it back in.
Brandon Daly is just putting on a show.
He's going to need a bag of ice and a bucket of Advil when he gets out of here.
My goodness. The ground he covered, even Brandon Nicholson's tipping the cap on that one. Covered a ton of ground, makes the grab.
His head's down. I was like, yeah, what else could go wrong out here tonight?
I'm good. Welcome back to Hamilton Cardinals Friday Night Baseball presented by Mountain Mitsubishi here on Cable 14. Dustin Richardson into the ball game. He is the fifth pitcher for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight.
Richardson, the former Boston Red Sox farmhand.
I remember the name well. As Richardson will wind and deliver and gets Niles swinging through.
He can definitely gas it up with the best of them.
I know the website soxprospects.com extremely well. As 1 and 2 goes the count. I keep a running tab on who's coming through the farm.
Yeah.
It's about to be brighter days for the Red Sox. Maybe if they can keep some guys from blowing out elbows.
Yeah.
Although that seems to be an epidemic right now.
Even it looks like Alec Manoah is going on the DL for a little while too.
Oy. As Richardson able to blast that past Niles, 1 away.
3 pitches, 1 out there as Niles was overmatched in that at bat.
Stepping up to the plate, the first baseman, number 44, Tanner Rempel.
Tanner Rempel, who has been nothing short of brilliant over at first base, making his way in. As Richardson delivers, and that one catches the corner. And yeah, Dustin Richardson played a little bit of everywhere. Actually saw a very brief recall to Boston at one time.
Yep.
Pitched in 3 games for the Red Sox in 2009 and then 26 in 2010. And his journey has taken him from Boston to Pawtucket through the Dominican, the Sugarland Skeeters, Oklahoma City, Tulsa. As he has the 1 and 2 here on Tanner Rempel.
So Josh Niles is the one Cardinal in the starting lineup without a hit tonight.
And Rempel swings through for the second out.
Dustin Richardson continues to mow them down here. 2 away now.
What was Niles judged in the first inning, Neil?
Niles, I guess, it must have been an error then. He's 0 for 4 according to point streak.
Intriguing. I am just doing a quick check.
Yeah.
Error by the second baseman.
Yep.
So the errors, unfortunately, take what was a 2 RBI play off the board for Josh Niles.
Yep. I will adjust my score sheet accordingly.
I'm doing the same as Richardson gets Brandon Ladder off balance and swinging 0-2. Looking for one more strike here is Dustin Richardson to blast his way through and didn't get it there, and he is not happy about it.
Nope. 2 pitches over the immaculate inning attempt.
Richardson listed at 6'6", 220. Built like somebody should be playing linebacker.
Yep. Probably did in high school.
Wouldn't be a surprise as he'll deliver again, and that one runs outside. Brandon Ladder with a single in the bottom of the 7th. Got a Cardinals rally started. He came around to score.
6'6", 220. I think that's just his left leg.
There's our
Troy.
Troy Islikar downstairs.
There's Troy.
Yeah, I was just down in the bullpen watching him warm up. Wow, what a specimen.
And he's going to get Brandon Ladder swinging through that one. Troy, don't go anywhere. I believe Stefan Strecker's about to make his way into the ball game. We'll essentially go 3-man for the top of the 9th inning when we return to Mountain Mitsubishi Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14.
Fans, it's now time to check those 50-50 tickets. If you are holding on to ticket number D.
first professional glove. That's the one I remember the most. When I was coming up, even though it wasn't that long ago, having your name on a glove was a big deal.
That is not Stricker. Does not look like Stricker.
Right here?
Guys, real quickly, I'm down here with Emily, and tomorrow is a real special day here in Hamilton for the Cardinals. Retro Day. Tell us all about that.
I am so excited for tomorrow. We are honoring the Thunderbirds. It's going to be such a great game. Brantford's coming here. We're all going to be decked out. You gave me a good vest to wear. I'm very excited. The guys are going to be debuting new jerseys, and I had a sneak peek. They are very, very cool.
So we got the Thunderbirds from the past, and the Redbirds, and the old Cardinals, and the old championship team from the 70s. They're going to talk about all those things, and what will be the big thing for the fans tomorrow?
Oh, just to see the culture, to see the history of the Hamilton Cardinals. There's so much here, and there's so much to learn, and it's very exciting that we get to honor everybody. So I think it's going to be such a great night. So if you don't have any plans tomorrow, make sure you come on out. It's going to be a great game. Tonight has been so fun. The Cards are playing unbelievable. This is great baseball you don't want to miss.
Okay, guys, you heard her. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you here tomorrow night. Guys, back to you.
Thanks so much, Troy. And Emily decked out in the old Thunderbirds jacket as well. So retro night, they're going to honor a number of teams from the past from the sounds of it, Neil.
Yeah, it definitely does sound like that.
As Cabral is going to swing through the first offering. So I was off. The Cardinals got me on this one. Stefan Strecker was warming up.
Yep.
He was out there without the hoodie on and looked like he was about to come in. And
it's Jacob Gadget instead.
It is indeed Jacob Gadget. Has 2 strikes now on Cabral. So Jacob Gadget making his Friday night baseball debut. And another young man who has electric stuff from the hill. Whew. Case in point as he gets Cabral swinging right there.
On 3 pitches.
And Jacob Gadget looking good to open up his outing.
Stepping up to the plate, the shortstop, number 1, Jose Vinicio.
Jose Vinicio now the batter.
And this is where it gets a little bit more interesting, as Gadget will have to navigate Vinicio and Castaldo at the least.
Yep. Vinicio is 0 for 4 with an RBI so far.
And Gadget opening him up with a strike.
Kid is dealing.
Cardinals have a 6-run cushion thanks to 5 3-run innings.
That doesn't happen often.
Tonight has been all about symmetry, as Vinicio will send that back foul, 0-2. And Jacob Gadget does not waste time.
Nope. He gets the ball back and wants to go back at you.
Maybe he's got a hot little Caesars hot and ready down in the room.
Maybe. Of course, with the league rules, you got to keep one foot in the batter's box at all times as well, too. So.
And Gadget gets Vinicio staring at it.
Vinicio's trying to feel his catch. He's just got a big smile from the plate umpire, and an umpire probably said something about, yeah, you swung anyway, so you're out.
6 pitches, 2 outs, as Castaldo steps in.
Castaldo does have a couple runs scored, a single, a fly out to center field, a strikeout, and 1 hit on the night.
And Gadget's going to open him up with a strike. Cardinals pitching in double digits in strikeouts on the night. As Gadget has to look into Bernardo. And it took him all the way here, Neil, to lose his run at an immaculate inning.
Yep. We had 2 of those last year in the league.
That's incredible.
One by the Red Sox against the London Majors, and one by the Welland Jackfish.
Was it Davey Mendez?
No, it wasn't actually. I think it was Casey Howard actually.
Now Hamilton Cardinal.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and double check. I know I clipped it out last year, so.
Yeah, you got to let me know on that one. Because, I mean, Casey Howard, I've seen his stuff.
Yep.
He can do it. But when you think immaculate inning, I think Mendez is the name that has to come to mind.
No, it wasn't Mendez because that would have been all over the news.
Getting to watch Mendez and his stuff is just scary. As Gadget will have to look in now. 3-1 as Castaldo's fought through here. And Gadget will lose Castaldo for the walk. Jordan Castaldo will jog his way down.
Gadget's got some work to do tonight against Salazzo. Got a pair of singles, a walk, and a strikeout.
2 runs scored as well.
Yeah.
As Jonathan Salazzo steps in against Jacob Gadget, who, well, he gets down real. I mean, that's almost a Kimbrel.
Yeah,
as
well,
he looks
exactly.
in.
I was trying to figure out what that delivery was before, and it's like, yeah, that's Kimbrel. I
Ball's
should know that. He was my closer last year in MLB of the show.
I was a big Craig Kimbrel guy. He was my favorite Red Sox closer after Jonathan Papelbon. Granted, I know Keith Folk is the one who delivered the breaking of the curse, but it was a bit of a longer run for Papelbon. As Gadget delivers, and that one high. I can still tell you the entire lineup of the 2004 Boston Red Sox, including who was on the field when Renteria made the final out.
That's impressive.
Because everyone thinks it was Veritek. It was not. It was Mirabelli catching
and
Mankiewicz at first. As Salazzo taps that one back 2-1.
Because I think, Mankiewicz got accused of taking the baseball home or something afterwards, wasn't it?
Yes. I would have too.
Well, yeah.
You wouldn't have got that out of my hand.
That's putting my kids through college. Oh, man.
The hot dog cart.
Yep. Look at he's putting my kids through college.
You just follow my husband around.
Man.
As Gadget will have to look in at Salazzo 2-1.
Sorry for the folks at home. I derailed another inning here. I don't know why that just popped in my head there.
It was another beauty of the Simpsons. Just more comedic genius as Castaldo's going to skip his way over to third. 3-1 on the wild pitch again to Gadget. And Jacob Gadget, who, as Luis Bernardo now will go have a word with his pitcher.
Yep.
Just looked like they got off the same page there after Castaldo earned the walk. It just seemed a little
it seemed
off.
like it was just off, or maybe you can't see the signals from Bernardo here, so he's just say, hey, let's go to something a little higher up or something.
Yeah, this game has been a wild one. 30 combined hits, 24 runs. As Gadget will deliver, he gets Salazzo swinging through to bring the count full.
That one was going on the expressway.
Oh, yeah. Long gone.
Yeah.
Second night in a row, the Cardinals have had a defense against them put up 6 errors. As Gadget winds and delivers. Did he get him?
Nope,
He did not. And Jonathan Salazzo will earn the walk.
Back-to-back walks here by Gadget. And the catcher, Lachlan Maud, will come up to the plate again. He's got 3 strikeouts and 2 singles tonight. For the youngster making his IBL debut.
He's looked very good.
Yeah, he is.
Now, I mean, the catching spot we know is taken with the Toronto Maple Leafs. But certainly one for the future here in Lachlan Maud. As Gadget delivers, strike one. Now, both these teams having, Neil, some key pieces out of the lineup tonight, more from Toronto than the Cardinals. But, of course, the Cardinals did not have the services of Danny Berg tonight.
Apparently, his Dean Castelli filled his he's coaching all weekend, so.
Second strike delivered there by Gadzik. And anytime you're hitting over 400, that's a loss to the lineup when you're not available.
Yep.
Got to wonder if the Cardinals, and we've talked about this with George Salim, maybe not done yet. Keeler Loveridge was DHing tonight. And it would appear that there could be a spot there.
Yep.
If George has somebody in mind that he would like to bring in.
Of course, they did part ways with Josh Williams and Kenny DeCamlente this week as well, so there is some roster spots open if George has got some irons in the fire somewhere.
Well, doesn't he always? 1-2 the count. Gadzik delivers. Got him looking to end the ball game. The Hamilton Cardinals, with 3 strikeouts in the 9th inning from Jacob Gadzik, take a 15-9 victory. Neil, 2 out of 4 on the weekend down. They're both wins to push this team to 5-2. They have scored 26 runs in the first 2 legs of this 4-game weekend.
Of course, they have the Red Sox tomorrow, and that's going to be a big night here at the ballpark anyways. But, yes, they're definitely going to hope to keep building this and get that rock going up the hill a little further here, or up the mountain in this case, because we're on top of the mountain right now.
You have to feel like if this crew could get to a 6-3 record by the end of this weekend, Neil, they'd be very happy, let alone if they could get it to 7-2.
Exactly. 6-3, you're in a great spot right now and everything else, and you're not pushing the cart before the horse or anything. You got a couple of important games over the weekend too. They got to get through too before they can finish up the weekend. And of course, these guys are going to, at least they got the afternoon off tomorrow. They can go rest and take it easy, come back, just a normal another night game here tomorrow night.
We talked a lot about it during the ball game tonight, but Zach Marriott, again, this rookie is producing in a big way for these Hamilton Cardinals.
Exactly. Like Zach Marriott is just on fire. He's on a new level here as far as the conversation now. Kaden Cardoso was having a great start in London, but now Zach Marriott is like saying, "Hey, I'm not no spring chicken. I'm not."
And we've got Zach Marriott downstairs with our Troy Islikar. Troy, take it away.
Zach, big game for you tonight. 3 RBIs. That gives you 13 on the season. And, in your first year in the IBL, you seem to have things a little bit figured out, but you're going through all the pitchers you're going to start seeing. And what have you noticed about IBL pitching that's really helped you?
I just like to hit the fastball. I mean, there's no secret about that. I'm sure the pitchers are going to make adjustments, so I'll be making those adjustments too.
And you've been talking about making adjustments. You played third, now you're at second. You can probably play all over the infield, no doubt. What do you prefer?
I mean, I like third base. Whatever works, though. Whatever helps the team win, wherever coach puts me that day, I'm down to just go there and play and end up with a win.
And let's talk about the character of this game. You guys seem to be not only enjoying games when you win, but just being together, and that's very important.
Absolutely, yes, sir. It's a lot of fun with the guys, and I mean that's a big part of it. Coming to the field and obviously winning helps, but just having fun while we're doing what we're doing is the best part.
And this is your second game rather in your 4-4 weekend. And how are you guys going to be able to pace yourself with 2 more big games coming up?
I mean, so we're just going to carry this momentum. We started off really well with the 2 wins and keep it going tomorrow.
Thanks very much, Zach, and I'll let you get back to the guys. And great game, and good luck down the road.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Guys.
Thanks so much, Troy. Zach Marriott already starring role with these Hamilton Cardinals. Neil, what a pickup, as you're mentioning, he has been. He kind of forced a couple of guys out of a spot coming into this season, the Cardinals. And, yeah, there's that MVP belt that he'll drape over his shoulder, rightly so. Really big performances already out of Zach Marriott to essentially force himself into a regular spot in this lineup. He said he's preferred third, looked great at second tonight.
Yep.
I don't think the Cardinals are going to have any trouble finding spots to put him in.
Exactly. If he keeps hitting the way he's hitting and everything else, he's going to be hard-pressed to come out of this lineup on any given night.
And the Cardinals continue along. Danny Berg wasn't available tonight. He's out coaching. And another piece that when this lineup gets everybody on the chessboard at the same time, it is a very deep, very scary lineup.
It is a very scary lineup, especially when they're capable of what you watch tonight. Look at all the threes across the scoreboard tonight.
All right, Neil, 15-9 win for the Cardinals, 2 of 4 down. Big weekend still to come, but thank you tonight. It has been a great one here for the Cardinals.
Indeed it has been.
And it's Neil Sriwastawa, Troy Islikar downstairs, Reed Duffy. Thanks as always to our incredible Cable 14 crew, and thanks to you at home for sticking with us. The Cardinals, a 15-9 win. You've been watching Mountain Mitsubishi, Hamilton Cardinals, Friday Night Baseball on Cable 14.